Hey Blade,
What's up?
so raspberries.
What about him?
Can you get closer to your mic?
I have it on. Okay.
There you go. That's good. Right where it is. Um, so raspberries. I love raspberries, dude. Um,
Why?
so like I got some raspberries today, but like so when raspberries are like killed and harvested and put into the containers, um, some of the blood stays in. So I have this container of raspberries and I go to eat raspberries out of it, but the blood is like, it's just going through the bottom of the container, and now I got fucking raspberry blood on my shirt.
Unfortunate, but why did you kill raspberries?
I didn't. I bought them from the store.
Why did you buy dead raspberries?
Where do you get your raspberries from? They have to be killed and harvested.
Uh, I also buy dead
Do you
raspberries.
like? Do you not understand how vegetables work and fruits?
Yeah, raspberry my favorite vegetable.
I said and fruits. Whatever. Raspberries are pretty good.
Oh, we played Fate Stay Night for another week.
God, that took way too long. Yeah, we did.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Okay, now I have to pull up my notes.
We're gonna skim through days 4 and 5. Basically, we had a recording issue, and so we have less time. So we're gonna skip the unimportant shit.
We'll go back to the start of the playlist too.
I'm not gonna point fingers, but this person really likes On from Persona 5.
My computer
Shit,
crashed.
he knows. He knows it's me.
Shut the fuck up.
Okay, day 4. Kiritsugu dies. He's murked. And
Yes, he's very dead.
and
8 years even.
and we get the dream where in which he dies, and he kind of like knows he's gonna die, and then he dies. Next,
I meant 5 years.
Saber has healing powers, which is how Shiro survived his abdominal surgery last night.
Yes, next. Berserker's a good surgeon.
But Shiro cannot send magic to Saber, which he should be able to, but he can't.
So Saber sleeps sleeps in all day.
Whatever you're saying, Blade, I wish you would stop your deep sea fishing.
The submarine was not worth it.
It was not your fault, Blade. You have to accept it.
Next.
Okay, Rin
What?
and Rin and Shiro team up,
I bought a boat.
and Rin is moving it. You bought a boat?
Yeah.
Yes. Are you
Not-
already
no,
underwater?
no more.
Oh my fucking
The
god.
canoe is sinking.
Saber isn't okay. Yeah. So because Saber can't get energy from Shiro, Saber has to sleep because she's a lazy bitch. Moving on. Ironborn lineage has made it to the grill almost multiple times.
Yes, they are very successful, but not successful enough.
Saber X Rin? Question mark? Question mark? Question mark? Question mark? Shiro really likes Saber.
He definitely does.
Day 5, I guess. Sakura arrives to the house. Rin is telling her to leave,
Fuck
and then
off.
Sakura is angry.
Fuck off, my man.
And then Saber has to stay hidden from everyone. Okay. Shiro has a harem. Okay,
Yes, it's very clear at
Fujine.
this point.
Fujine arrives, and then she sees Rin is there, and she goes tiger mode, and there's some a great music that I wish I could play, but I don't remember what it's called, and I don't know if it's even in the playlist that's playing right now. Sakura has a spare key to Shiro's house. I think this is extremely important. Maybe Lancer got into Shiro's house with the spare key. That's a very important just line right there. That's gonna come up. I guarantee you.
Hope so.
Shinji goes to hit Sakura, but Shiro catches his hands.
Yes, because they went to school together, and Sakura was late for archery club,
Shinji
runs.
Shinji is a piece of shit.
Of shit, yes.
He beats his sister.
And his dick sometimes, but like
Rin destroys Shinji with her words.
and facts and logic.
Get wrecked, Shinji.
Shiro betrays Issei by hanging out with Rin.
Yes.
Woman evil
Issei
and
hates
bad.
women.
He is gay as fuck.
And
Issei
that's
probably.
okay.
Choice. Meet with Rin for lunch or explain things to Sakura.
Everyone did not go to Sakura.
We all went to
Sakura.
Best Girl.
Sakura sucks. She fucking sucks. I bought the Nendroid anyway.
You did.
What is next? Oh yes, so you go up to Rin. She talks about how the boundary fields around the school, and that it was made by a magus at the school. There was a magus at the school, and they made the boundary field. But that
No.
magus...
They say the servant did it. They conclude that it was the servant.
Okay, you're right. No, Rin just says that there is another magus at the school, but they're not a master. But the boundary field was made by a servant.
Yes, it's very weird.
Unnecessarily confusing order of statements there that she did. But
Yes,
the boundary
next.
field and the magus at the school, two separate people.
Yeah, let's go next.
Or are they? Question mark.
Gay, perhaps?
No. We go home.
Boundary field, extremely... Okay, that we already said that.
Yeah. We go
It'll be
home
ready
next.
in 8 days. That's what she said.
Oh, yeah, that's
she says it.
important.
Doesn't mean it's true.
Yes.
Later at home, the master of the servant has to be associated with the school, despite Sakura saying that there is only one magus at the school and that they don't have a servant.
I forgot to turn my fan off. I just did that. Sorry.
Oh my fucking god. Do we have to cancel Saber Chat?
Yes. Let's go. Keep going.
Choice. Ask about Lancer, Archer, or Berserker. Peter, go with your Archer shit.
I asked about Archer, and she basically was just like, yeah, Archer's weird. I don't know what the fuck's up with him. I don't like him though, and he's definitely not a normal servant, which we know by playing the Sasaka route that there is some weird stuff up with him, and amnesia.
Yes. Okay, and Mean Blade will be asked about Lancer, and we get a paragraph of knowledge.
Senor
Right.
Kuchulain.
Yeah. Yeah, important. We had butchering his name last video. It's Kulain.
Coochie Lane.
Coochie Lane.
And apparently Ku is just like a surname that you get when you are master of dog.
That's weird.
He tamed a dog, so he got that name.
Why is he not Ryder? Ride the dog.
Yeah, just want to point out, Peter last video be like, Ryder has to be on the horse.
I assumed that Ryder would be on the horse the whole time.
I have a theory because I just want to make sure we don't know who Ryder is still.
Yeah, we do.
We learned the name of the noble phantasm.
Yeah,
We
well, I
don't
mean,
know
like,
their actual name.
if you look it up,
the stats menu.
yeah.
I checked the stats menu, and her true name is just still left blank.
She did not reveal it.
So but I do have a theory about who she is. That I'm extremely confident. That was the theory that I'm confident in.
All right, keep going.
So Lancer,
we go home.
not famous in
Oh,
Japan.
not yet.
But he still has more than enough power. Agility, second to none. Noble Phantasm is the most suitable for the Holy Grail War. Gable will always pierce the heart. No weapon more efficient in hand-to-hand combat. Despite saying that Heracles is the best at hand-to-hand combat, there isn't.
He doesn't have a
Whatever.
weapon. Well, he
His
does.
lance
like,
has no.
It's not his weapon.
His lance, all it does is it targets someone, hits them in the heart, and it's done. There's nothing else it does, so he saves up on magic.
It does big pokes.
Okay. As Sakura arrives, which is why you can't ask about any other servants. Rin and Sakura very close all of a sudden, despite being very angry in the morning. Then we get a black and white. We get like a black and white sprites for them, which is very unique. I'm very happy about that. I really wanted black and white
You
sprites.
skipped why they get that.
Oh yeah, because Zero
Yeah.
introduces Saber to them, but that's whatever.
Oh, no. That is very important because...
Here, you can talk about that.
Yes. Here's one thing that I noticed. So, in order to get Fujine to like Saber, because she's just angry that you're inviting all these women to your house because she thinks you're gonna have sex with them. Uh-oh, spoiler alert, you do. Anyway. So she's
And
very...
it's hot as fuck.
No, it's not. Anyway, continuing. Fujine's mad, and she's like, yo, what... come on, like, who even is this? And then he's like, oh yeah, my dad, Kiritsugu, he traveled the world all the time, you know that. So like, he met Saber, and she's like kind of a distant relative, and then Saber's like, oh yeah, Kiritsugu told me to protect Shiro at all costs, which is very weird. Protect Shiro from any enemies, is specifically the quote, which is very weird, because later we learn that Saber's not very good at lying, because when she's talking to Rin about what they were doing with the shaking of the hands in a later thing, Saber's all flustered because she's not well at lying. So it's weird that she was able to tell that with such, like, truth. So, like, maybe Kiritsugu actually did tell her that, and maybe he was involved in the last Holy Grail War and had Saber. That's my whole theory. Wow.
Thanks for watching.
Woo!
Alright, next. We we caught up to where we were. Now, next.
Okay.
So we eat dinner.
Let me just delete this from the general channel. I don't know why he said that in general and not in part 7 spoilers. Okay, let's see. Fujine versus Saber. Fujine grabs the wooden sword and goes in for a slice, a patented slice attack. And then Saber grabs the sword out of her hand, and that's the end of the fight. And then Fujine cries.
She cries
That's
that she
very
can't
sad,
protect
because
Shiro.
Best Girl is crying.
And Shiro does some training in his shed, and the day ends. Day 6. Finally, back to the important stuff. Nutrients go to Sakura's chest.
Oh, yes, that is very important.
I think this is where you left, Peter.
Yes, it is.
So, when
That's
Sakura
where... No, I
eats-
definitely didn't get to that.
The next thing is
I
the
got
gas
crashed
leaks, which you
before.
definitely weren't here before.
Yes, speaking of the gas leaks...
No,
we
wait,
talked
wait,
about...
wait. We're not done.
No, I
yet.
just want to say how we talked about the gas leaks last week. They weren't brought up in any of the 3 days last week. Blade just kind of brought them up.
No,
They
it
were
was mentioned.
They were not mentioned. I
Day
do not
two.
remember the gas leaks
Day
until
two.
this
No,
moment.
they
Day
definitely
2.
Okay.
Were. Hey,
Anyway.
news. Okay. So yeah, back to the fucking the important stuff. So when Sakura eats, the nutrients go to her chest. And then we also learn that this may or may not be the same for Rin. She says like I think the same exact thing, but hers is like for some reason more vague. Like it sounds like they're talking about two different things.
She doesn't eat breakfast because
It's
of
just
that
very
reason.
confusing. And then Shiro doesn't know what they're talking about. Now on to new
Yeah,
stuff.
he's not paying attention.
Gas leaks are 100% a master doing their shits.
Yes, they are at the top of the temple mountain for some reason. But we learn that later. But, like, that is definitely a master doing that shit.
Okay,
What day are we on? 5?
6.
6. Okay.
So then we go to school, and okay, now we can slow down a bit now we're caught up. And so this is where I start not understanding the weird contradictions going on. Of it's not contradictions; it's just unnecessarily confusing. Of the person who set up the boundary field is related to the school, and a servant made that. And there's another man just at the school, but that man just does not have a servant.
Yes, supposedly.
Which we learned is yeah, it's true, but whatever. Next is Rin and Shiro go looking for sweet-smelling places to find the master.
Okay, they'll describe sweet smelling because that's how Shiro feels the boundary.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like a honeypot trap, they mentioned. Also, I turned my fan back on. It is far too fucking hot in my room. I'm sorry.
So yeah,
Peter,
Shiro goes around by himself searching for spots of the school that seem extra sweet to him.
Wait. Peter, I'm sitting here, no fans on, my door is closed. I have the big Rona. And I'm eating this hot ramen.
Do you want a cookie?
That's your personal choice.
It is. I did choose to have the big Rona.
I meant the ramen part.
Next, okay, lunchtime is a good place to start looking. So Shiro goes looking around for the sweet smell and finds it at the archery club.
I moved me and my mic farther away from my fan. Is that any better? Because I really need this on. I'll turn it off.
Yeah,
not.
I can't hear the fan anymore.
Good.
So while looking at the archery club, Shiro runs into his best friend.
Yes, Shinji. So my immediate next note just says, "It's fucking Shinji" in all caps.
It is.
Well, no. At this point, he says he knows there's a boundary field, but he doesn't know who it belongs to. But he is a master.
Yes. And then he says some stuff that points to he probably doesn't have Lancer like we thought he would. Because
yes,
he the main thing is that he didn't know that Shiro was a master or what servant he had. Which he probably would have known since he would have sent Lancer at Shiro.
I mean, I don't know why we're beating around the bush here, because we go to his house in about 5 minutes.
Yeah, we know it's not Lancer, but this is where it's like but Shinji does assume that this Shiro has Saber for some reason.
We
yes,
go
that
to
is weird.
Shinji's house and we fuck.
Yeah, they go to Shinji's house and everything is dim, which is weird. What's
Yeah,
up
all the
with that?
lights are off, and we don't see anyone other than Shinji. Shut up. And then we see his weird servant, which is Ryder.
Yes, Raido is the.
Oh, we should also mention that we're now skipping school in order to talk to Shinji, our best friend.
Yeah. So Shinji has Raido, the purple-haired girl, from the opening. Finally, we get to see her. See, I saw that she was Ryder when I was looking at purple-haired Fate Girl earlier. And that's like, so Peter, when you said that they were always on a horse last video, I was like, I knew that wasn't the case. Because she's in the opening, just climbing a building. And there's a weird connection here. I don't know. This probably doesn't mean anything at all. But it's just weird that Ryder has purple hair, and then Shinji's sister also has purple hair.
True. I believe this is about the time where I wrote my weird theory down. Now, I kind of forget what... There might be something up with Berserker's summoning that I forget about. But I wrote this kind of like weird theory down because we now know of three masters and how each of those servants were summoned. First we learn about Rin, and we learn how she terribly messes up the summoning. Then we learn about then we learn about Emiya and how he doesn't even try to summon Saber, and she just kind of shows up. And now we learn about Shinji and how he didn't want to be a master either, and how he knew what magic was and he knew about the Holy Grail War, but like he still just kind of ended up having this forced on him. So that's three of the masters that we know how they... Three out of all three of the masters that we know how they summon their servant, we know that there was a mistake involved. And we already know that this Holy Grail War is weird because the usual like period in between Holy Grail Wars is 60 years, and this one was 10 years. So I'm beginning to think I'm just kind of beginning to see a pattern of servants being terribly messed up upon summoning them.
So that is very interesting. What if this isn't really a Holy Grail War?
I feel like there's something weird about Berserker summoning. Because we talked to Ilya, does she say anything about
We're not
that,
there
or am I
yet.
just kind of blanking?
We're not
on
It's
there yet.
weird. She doesn't talk about his summoning ever. I don't think.
All right then.
She just makes it seem like he's always been there.
Yeah. We'll get to that though.
Okay, so, and then we get this weird little bit where Shinji's just like feeling Ryder.
Yeah. He's a creep.
Does he?
Yeah, I wrote down
He just
Shinji gets touchy with Ryder.
Yeah, he just like puts his hand on her thigh.
He's
or
like
something.
feeling her thigh,
Oh, I did not remember that.
which is weird. I'm thinking about something maybe weird there. And then, okay, Shiro can feel Ryder's lack of humanity.
Yes.
Which ties
and
into
like
the fact
murderous
that
intent
just
kind
a
of thing.
Yeah, she feels, and it's mentioned just a little bit later that Ryder is probably not a heroic spirit; it is actually a vengeful spirit. So I want to talk about my theory real quick.
About who
Go
Ryder
ahead.
is?
Ryder, we know probably vengeful spirit.
Yeah.
We know she doesn't talk.
Not much.
Not
She
much.
doesn't talk.
much.
Her eyes are covered.
Her face is like obscured. And there was like one other big thing. Yes, and later on, this is getting a little out of order. She summons her noble phantasm or something at the school by slicing her neck.
Yes.
I'm
When
thinking-
I saw that, I immediately thought, and you're probably gonna say the same thing, Headless Horseman.
I think that's exactly what it is. With the slashing of the neck, the face being obscured, not talking much, a vengeful spirit. I think, and just wearing all black. I think it makes sense.
But
The only
Headless
weird
Horse-
thing about that is that the Noble Phantasm doesn't really have anything to do with the Headless
That's the
Horseman.
weird thing.
Yeah, I don't know.
Remember there was one other thing that made sense.
But anyway, I did, not to get too far, but I did research on the Noble Phantasm, which is her Pegasus, and the name of that Pegasus, and it doesn't really seem like there's anyone specifically associated with that Pegasus. It's almost like the Pegasus itself is a character.
Okay,
in the
I
Greek
have
mythology.
no idea who Ryder is, genuinely. But if her face is covered and she's riding a Pegasus, I don't think it's the Headless Horseman, especially since now all the servants have been the correct gender. So I don't think it's the Headless Horseman, because that's a guy.
What's that? What's that?
I mean,
one, like,
debatable if Saber's the
angel? Is it
correct
Lilith?
gender.
Is Lilith the one that's blindfolded?
Lilith, maybe.
Is that the blind angel?
Well, that's an angel, though. Are Pegasus usually associated with, like, Greek mythology?
Yeah.
So it might be someone from there.
There's also Norse mythology with the Valkyries.
So someone
Um,
from Greek, Roman, or North mythology, they had their head cut off or something in that aspect, and they ride a Pegasus. And they have their eyes covered. I think that's probably a big thing.
I'm looking.
We'll get to it.
I'm looking to see. I'm pretty sure I wrote. I think there were other little bits that I think pointed towards Headless Horseman, but we'll keep going.
I'm gonna pull up an image of Ryder. I just want to look at her design. Keep going though.
Yeah, you would.
Yeah.
Let's see. Shinji proposes a team up to Shiro.
Specifically, a team up to take down Rin.
And before Shiro answers, Shinji asks him. Shiro asks Shinji how he became a master, and we learn that the Mato family was a lineage of magi, and that Shinji is just a normal person who knows about and studies magic, and that is very similar to Shiro.
But he has no magic circuits.
Yes, he is not. He's not a Magus. He's
Or the
only
magic
a
crest.
master. And then he says Sakura knows nothing. And then he says that he didn't make the boundary field. And the fact that we know that one of those is a lie, I think Sakura knowing nothing could very easily just also be a lie. Despite Rin saying that that's that she probably just actually doesn't know anything because that's just something that happens, I think that could just be a lie.
Maybe
we
she
also
knows.
already have a truth in there, which is that he doesn't actually know how to do magic. But he does some weird stuff later, which isn't really explained with that book. He just kind of has a he just kind of has a book, and then like those 3 black things come out of the thing, and that's not really explained to be part of. Like there's like 3 black spikes that come out of the ground and try to kill Shiro, and that's not really explained to be part of Ryder's moveset.
What if? So Shinji's like, so they're like, oh yeah, only one person in the family is told. If there's more than one offspring, only one of them is told about the magic and stuff. What if Shinji thinks that he's the one who was told? Like he doesn't know anything about magic. He can't do anything.
I mean, that's because he doesn't have
what
any
if-
magic circuits.
Yeah, but like what if Sakura does know, and he's just been studying magic, and he wasn't actually the one intended to be doing magic.
I feel like
I don't think that's true because he was like, oh
Because
yeah,
an
like
important
of
thing
course.
also,
Yeah,
there is a magus at the school
that's true.
that we still don't know about.
This is true. But wouldn't so if Rin is able to detect that a Magus is in the school, that means the Magus isn't really hiding their presence, which would be weird because if the Magus isn't hiding their presence at school, wouldn't Sakura also not be hiding her presence at the house?
Maybe. It's a good point. And Shinji mainly wants to team up for protection because they both don't know magic. They can't do anything. So Shiro's fine with the team up, and he's going to accept it. But then Shinji's like, oh yeah, by the way, we're also going to have to defeat Rin.
Yeah, and
Which
that's like an
just
immediate
goes against
turn
what
off.
he literally just said. So Shiro just declines.
Oh yeah, because Shinji also just talks about. I have to get too much into Shinji because we've been talking about him for a while, but he's also just like, yeah, I'm just self-defense, bro. Yeah. And then of course we learn that later that he's trying to fucking murder everyone in the entire school, including his own sister.
Okay, let's see. Yeah, Shiro declines to team up. And then we're told that there is a master at the Ryudo Temple collecting souls on a large scale, and they're probably responsible for the gas leaks.
Yes, the supposed gas leaks that are really people's souls getting sucked out of them.
So then, and then we're like, okay, we're leaving, and then she's like, okay, Ryder, you just see him out. And we're outside. Shiro says that he can sense that Ryder is a contradictory combination of holy and evil,
Yes.
which heavily points to the idea. No, that would make sense. That makes sense. With the thing I just said about Lilith, that would make sense. And then we're given a choice, which to talk to Ryder or to stay away from her. I assume we all chose to talk to Ryder.
I talked to Ryder.
I talked to Ryder.
Okay.
Okay.
If you want, does anyone else wanna read this one out?
Mainly she just gives you more info about Shinji mentioning that there's a master on top of the temple.
She calls her a witch.
Oh yes, there's a witch on top of the. I don't even want to try to pronounce it, but the temple on top of the mountain.
Which is the one that Issei is at, by the way.
Yes, Issei lives there. Sorry, I got far away. Issei lives there.
Yes. Oh, and then on our way home we meet Issei.
Well, there's a little bit more.
Okay.
So Ryder says that there's a witch. She says that the witch knows men inside and out.
Yeah.
whatever that's gonna turn into when we get there is intriguing.
Now that you say that, I have something to say about that bed ending, but I'll wait till we get there.
Let me.
Give me
I
a
gotta go to part 2
second.
of my notes
I
real
will
quick.
I will be back very quickly.
Wait, let me just finish off the writer thing.
Okay.
Okay. And then Shiro tells Ryder to protect Shinji. She smiles and then tells him that he is a good person.
Right.
And then
Yeah.
that's it.
Huh. All right. I'll be back real quick.
Now we can continue.
Yes.
We were just talking about Ryder, and then
Yes, and now we can leave. And on the way home, Issei says that a woman has come to Ryudo Temple.
Yes, and that she's got a weird air about her.
yeah.
Yeah, and that's literally all that happened here.
So we head home, and we tell
yes.
Saber and
They have
Tosaka
dinner.
about what
They have
happened.
Dinner. That's very important. They eat dinner. But nothing happens. So my next note is after dinner. Shiro tells Rin and Saber about what happened, and Rin insists that Shinji must have made the boundary field, which we know he didn't do because he said he didn't do it.
Yeah, but he did do it. Whoa.
No, I trust
No, but he
Shinji.
said he didn't do it.
Just to comment on, I did while I was finding this out. I typed in chat. All right, so Shinji's a whole asshole, but he's not a fucking murderer at least. Wow, wasn't I wrong?
I mean, he could have been Lancer's master.
Okay, and this is I go into the stats. My next one is me me going into the stats.
I never go into the weird menus.
I go into there because there's some good stuff in there sometimes, you know, like them explaining entirely how Saber's Noble Phantasm works before you get to it.
Oh,
Well, not that there's a sword, not about like the golden sword. It's just that how the wind works, and that it's just wind going around it that makes it look invisible.
I always figured that.
But for some reason, Ryder's Noble Phantasm at this point is listed as an A+ rank,
Yes, we
which we don't learn until like a few days later.
yeah.
On day 9.
Which okay, sure, A+.
Yeah, that's
Whatever.
pretty much just sorcery.
A+, she did a good.
And then then we move on to some other stuff like Ryudo Temple is a fallen ley line.
Oh yeah, ley lines.
I forget what those are.
They're like magic highways, pretty much. These are like highways, but for magic and souls. I wasn't entirely keen on that, but
Okay.
like, yeah,
I guess it like
magic highway.
I don't know. I guess it increases your effectiveness. I don't know.
I mean, yeah,
and Rin-
the whole thing is that she's at the end of the ley line.
Okay. Rin says that going to the temple isn't worth it yet, and that they should wait until they know what servant is there. But Saber thinks they should go fight. And then we have the choice of fight or don't fight.
We all chose fight,
I'm pretty sure we all chose fight. Yeah.
which is the wrong option.
Oh, good. Thank you, Windows Defender, for telling me that I don't have a virus.
Good job, you don't have a virus.
Thank you. So our choices are fight or don't fight, and we all chose fight first.
Yep. And
Yeah, you can explain that one, Blade.
Alright, so we choose to fight. So we're like, we about to go fight. And then Tosaka's like, okay, I'll go pick up your body if you die. Okay, so you and Saber head out to the temple. And you're greeted by a surprise attack. In this choice, you're jumped by Ryder? Ryan?
Yes.
I just remembering correctly. Yes, you're attacked by Ryder, but then Saber mentions that Caster is there as well, and you're teleported to what we assume is Caster's master, which is this woman. From there, that woman is like, hello, I'm gonna take your arm now, and she kills you.
Yeah, that's weird. I genuinely don't know what the fuck was up with that scene.
I have a theory.
Was Ryder actually there?
I think Ryder was there.
Why was Ryder there?
Sorry about that.
I don't understand this.
Part of me feels like the hint Ryder gave you is the reason why you died. Because she says she knows men in and out. So I believe that the fact that you went there got you killed because Caster must have some ability with men.
Oh, wait, there's one thing here, actually.
There's the weird, like, teleport thing. Did you...
There's
wait,
one
is that
very
what we're
important
talking
thing.
about?
That's what I was
Yeah.
thinking of.
There's one very important thing here.
Yes?
I don't know what she means by this, but she kills Shiro, and then she says she's gonna take Saber.
Yeah, she takes
Yes.
his arm so she can use the command spell.
Ah.
Yeah.
So she'll
It's a
have
very
multiple
weird
servants
ending.
without...
Did you got that ending,
Are we
Ryan?
gonna run into her? Are we gonna run into her later, and she's gonna have Shinji's arm?
No.
No, she's not the one who killed her.
I
Killed him.
know. But I don't know what she's doing.
Now that you
And
mention
get
it...
Tiger Dojo. Get Tiger Dojo.
Now that you mention...
mean-
oh yeah, Tiger Dojo. I didn't read that
Oh, yeah.
one, but Peter did.
I did read that one. I didn't really pay too much attention. I just saw Rin and busted out laughing.
Yeah, Rin is the best. So my notes here, I only have 2 notes actually for this one. So the first one just says Chibi Rin,
Chibi Rin.
Yes.
and the second one just says Chibi Rin beats the shit out of Fujin.
He does.
Yeah.
Well, also Ilya's there, and that's cool.
I don't know why she's there.
Yeah, she says that this is the third one. She says that this is the third Tiger Dojo.
Odd.
And then she was talking about different outfits that she was gonna wear, which why weren't those there? If with the different outfits, that'd be cool.
I mean, that was the whole... Oh, yeah. The whole thing. She says, like, oh, yeah, there was a German officer outfit that I could have worn. And then
She
Tyga's...
says German officer, and officers in like quotations. What?
And then Tyga's mad. Tyga's like, wow, I'm disappointed. I would have loved to see you in that uniform.
I don't know. Okay. And then there's tiger stamps. Those are freaking epic.
What are?
Tiger stamps.
Yes.
What are tiger stamps?
They're just when you get a Tiger Dojo, you can go to into the extras menu, and there's the ending list, and there's just a little tiger stamp.
You're
there
fucking with me.
saying
I did
you got
not see
that
this.
Tiger Dojo.
What?
By
Yeah,
the way,
if
hold on.
You want to read all of them and try to get all the tiger stamps. Maybe you'll get like an extra Tiger Dojo for getting all of them. I don't know.
Hold on, I did not know this.
Maybe. I do want to go back and get the Tiger Dojos, but I have not yet.
So you die. You have to go back. You have to choose not to fight. And then there's Saber is mad, and there's an interlude.
Ah, yes, the first interlude. We get the first interlude, and she fights Assassin instead of
Yes.
Ryder
Saber
being
goes
there.
to
For,
by
oh,
herself.
Ryder was there, by the way. I wasn't. Ryder was just kind of
Yes,
there.
just like an hour passed, so she's not there anymore. But yeah,
Yeah.
Ryder was there, I guess.
It was very weird. We don't know what was going on there.
Why are there 3 servants there?
Yeah, I know, right? There was Ryder, and then Assassin, and
Okay.
Assassin's
We
who we
don't see
fight.
Caster probably.
We don't see
But Caster was
Caster's
mentioned.
there.
We see We either see Caster or Caster's master.
I think it's
Caster.
Caster, and then you see Caster's master. Because I think Caster is the one that teleports you.
I assumed that we saw Caster. The sprite that we saw was Caster herself and not Caster's master. But you know what? We're not going to get into the debate because we don't know, and we'll find out later.
So, Saber goes to temple by herself, and she meets a samurai that she doesn't know.
Yeah, and he just says his name.
His name is Sasaki Kojiro, and this dude is so fucking badass. He's so incredibly cool that no one knows who the fuck he is. No one
Yeah,
has
that
heard
is
of
his
him,
backstory.
I love
no
him
one
so
knows who
much.
he is.
which is so because of this. I don't know. I just chose not to look up anything about it.
Yeah, I assumed he was just an original character to this, so I didn't look at anything.
I'm gonna
up
assume he's
about
probably not.
it. I got Major Samurai Champloo vibes from him. Because, he's a samurai. And that's, like, a thing. But he's very cool.
It says his sword, Monohoshizao, has no match.
Yeah, he kind of almost beat Saber.
Yeah.
His story was only ever told through word of mouth. The only man who knew of his existence was his enemy, who defeated him.
Huh.
And because no one knows who the fuck he is, he doesn't care about telling his name. And then Saber and Kojiro have a I have the high ground fight.
Yes.
And she falls over.
And
then
the interlude ends.
Yes, and then Shiro wakes up and he's like, "Wait, where's Saber?"
Where's my waifu?
And then he
Drake, where's Saber?
I find this very funny. He takes the bike. He takes the bike there. And then later he leaves the bike, and then later there's a need for him to use a bike again. So they just mention that he has 3 bikes.
Oh yeah, he does have a bike again.
And I felt the need to mention this now because I did the second instance where he like just bikes out isn't too important. I just found it very funny. So he takes a bike there, leaves it at the temple, and then mentions that he has 3 bikes.
When Issei brings it back.
And then and then Issei brings back his bike later. So anyway, Shiro bikes there because
She's like, Drake, where's Saber? And then he goes there.
How does Issei know that's his bike?
I assume they're friends.
I assume he rides to school too.
Big brain? What if Issei is Assassin's Master?
Small brain.
Yo, big brain, what if Issei goes to school with Shiro
Whoa.
and sees his bike there every day?
He walks to school.
Holy shit.
He does walk to school. The first time we see him use a bike is in this scene.
Holy shit, that was a really dumb thing for you to say that he would bike there, but why'd you say that?
Okay. Assassin
the
fight.
interlude ends.
Oh, yeah.
The interlude ends, Shiro wakes up and realizes that Saber is gone, okay?
Yeah.
And then we go back to interlude 2.
Well, yeah. After he starts biking, there's not much interesting about that. So we go back to interlude.
And
2.
I wrote interlude 2, kinda sick music right now.
The music was kind of sick.
It was.
And Kojiro and Saber are fighting, and it's really cool.
Yeah, it is really cool.
Neither servant moves. Saber's unable to advance on Kojiro, and Kojiro is impressed by Saber's ability to block all of his slashes. Kojiro was able to measure Saber's sword without being hit by it or using magic.
And that's incredibly impressive because it's an invisible sword. We should just to
The
point
sword
that out.
has no physical appearance at the moment. Or visible appearance.
He measures an invisible sword without getting hit by it.
So Kojiro moves down to Saber's level. And then he uses a secret technique.
Oh, wait, no. And then Saber's like, "Oh wow, why is he doing this? This just gives me an advantage." And then immediately realizes that no, this does not give her an advantage when he uses the secret technique.
Secret technique, Tsubame Gaishi. And Saber blocks it. She rolls down the steps.
Well, she blocks the first strike.
She blocks the first strike and then goes down the steps.
Yeah, you should
to avoid the attack.
You should explain what the Tsubame Gaishi is.
It says, okay, Kojiro's sword doubled its existence for that instant.
Yeah, pretty much.
And it's not a noble phantasm.
Yeah.
He doesn't, it says Kojiro does not have a noble phantasm.
What?
That's
that?
what they say. I think that's just what Saber says. He does not have a noble phantasm. He is just that strong.
I think she just says that that isn't a noble phantasm.
I'm pretty sure.
I'm pretty sure she. I think.
I
think
don't
he has
remember
to
that,
have
but
one.
I'll trust you.
I remember her saying that it wasn't a notable phantasm, but I don't remember her saying that he just doesn't have one.
Okay. There are no possible counters for Tsubame Gaishi.
Yeah, that's
Kojiro
the
was
whole-
ready to continue the fight, and Saber releases her restraints, and the wind pressure is released. And you can continue for now while I go to check to make sure if what I was saying was true.
So fight. So now she's using tons of magical energy. Her restraints are gone. There's a giant whirlwind. This isn't her noble phantasm, which is weird. And then Shiro shows up, and there's wind blowing. And I kind of forget what Shiro does, but he says he basically is just like, Saber, what the fuck are you doing? You're gonna die.
And then Saber takes a nap.
Yes, I'm pretty sure Kojiro's just like, yeah, alright, well done, I'll fight you later, see ya, and then he kind of just disappears. If I remember correctly, that's just kind of what happens. And then Saber kind of passes out, and
And he carries her all the way home.
he has to carry her home, and he can't ride his bike. Issei comes later and brings it, but that's on a later day. So Ryan, have you found anything?
I'm currently at the point where the fight happens.
Alright. Can you read off your next note, just so we can get a prompter?
So you said, would you just go over?
Saber
losing.
passes out. They go home, and Kojiro's just like, alright, yeah,
Oh,
good fight.
Shiro drags Saber home. Rin takes Saber to her room and Shiro makes tea. Shiro doesn't want Saber to fight because she's a woman.
Yes, and he
There
is
was a
sexist.
very short fight between Rin and Shiro, or Shiro and Saber.
Yes.
Rin explains everything to Saber about what Shiro's talking about, and they decide that Saber and Rin are going to be training Shiro from now on.
Yeah.
And that is
Uh,
the end of day 6.
Yes, and then day 7 starts. And I think the first thing that's important that happens is that you tell Fujine that you're going to start skipping school. And Rin's confused.
Nope.
No?
No, something happens before that.
Really? Oh, the
I
dream
got a
sequence?
quote right here.
Yeah.
I have a quote. If I can, I'd prefer nobody to be sad. If I can make people around me happy just by helping them myself, I think that would make the world a pleasant place to live in. And that is said by Kiritsugu in the dream.
Yes. I remember that. Then...
And Saber wakes Shiro up and tells him that Rin and Sakura were fighting.
yeah, and she wakes you up in the shed, right?
Maybe.
I don't remember.
I believe she wakes you up in the shed, because that's when she finds out that you've been training at night in the shed. And she's like, it's
Rin
whatever,
tells-
I don't care as long as
What?
I'm near you.
What?
Rin tells Shiro that she told Sakura not to come to the house for a
Yes.
while.
Right.
The exact wording is that she made a promise to Sakura. If she stays away from the house for another week, she'll leave by then. Because Sakura did not like
Right.
tell Saga staying there.
I forgot about that. Then next thing that happens is, yes. So they have breakfast.
Fujine comes in.
Fujine comes in. And then Fujine and Tosaka are about to leave. And then,
Important little bit,
what?
but I think you were about to skip.
Oh?
Fujine tells Shiro that Mitsuzuri-san was attacked
Oh, yes.
by someone suspicious.
I
on
wasn't
his way
sure
home.
when this happened. I thought this was at night, but yes, you're right. Mitsuzuri was attacked by someone. That's all we know.
She's fine, but she was attacked by someone.
Yes, and then and then Tosaka threatens Sasaka threatens wow, I'm blanking on his name. Sasaka threatens Shiro because they're friends, and he said some weird shit about Mitsuri. And then, as I said like before, skipping school. He tells Fujine. Fujine's like, all right, whatever. I don't really care, which is weird that she doesn't care, but which kind of made me think that she might know a bit about like magic and what Kiritsugu was up to, but like maybe not. But she's just like, all right, well, I know you can't tell me, so whatever. Just come back eventually, and then we train with Saber. We start training with Saber.
Yes, Saber beats the shit out of Shiro for 2 hours. And then we have a choice.
Yes, and I'm interested in what you
between
guys chose first, because you only get both of the questions. You get all 3 questions twice, but you only get to choose 2 out of the 3 questions. So I'm hoping we.
Okay, so. Okay, well, let's just start off. Did anyone choose Asuka before she became a servant?
I did not. You did.
That.
Was it the first one you asked?
What are all the options?
They were, what does Saber want from the Holy Grail before she became a servant, and secret attack?
Okay, yes, I asked her what she was like before a servant first.
Okay.
I did
so
not
what did you
ask
get
that.
from that?
You want me to go first then?
Yeah.
Okay, so when you asked Saber that, I'm foggy because I played this a week ago, but she was basically talking about how she was a soldier essentially, or a knight, how she was never really treated as a girl, but rather as a swordsman, and how she was never thought as that. She was never thought as a woman.
All right.
Okay, Peter, what did you choose?
Is there anything more?
I'm just blanking on details, but yeah, she
Yeah.
she gives a lot of hints towards who her identity is.
All right.
Peter, what did you choose?
I chose the second one, the one that wasn't I chose the one about Can you read the options again?
What does she want from the Holy Grail?
Yes, I chose that one.
Okay, I also chose that one.
You want to take this one?
Sure. Well, no, here, you can do it.
Okay. I was kind of blanking, but now I remember. So she talks about how she she had a promise to her country that she hadn't made, or like it was a promise in the war. And of course we know I think she implies that she was a king. I don't remember, but she basically just talks about like. Well, first of all, she's like, oh yeah, why else would I want the Holy Grail other than the fact that it's the Holy Grail and it can grant any wish? He's like, yeah, but what wish do you want? And then she talks about how she's just like, oh well, there's some unfinished duty that I have from when I was alive, or when I was in my own age, and that's all she really says about the thing. She's very vague about it.
Okay. Yeah, that's about it. It just says Saber wants the Holy Grail to accomplish a duty that she could not accomplish during her lifetime.
Yeah.
And I just got to the Kojiro part that I was talking about.
Where'd Blade go? There you are.
Okay, Blade, you there?
Yes.
Okay, so I got to the Kojiro part that I was talking about, and the exact quote is, Sasaki Kojiro does not have a noble phantasm like heroic spirits do.
Alright then.
He himself has reached the level of a noble phantasm with mere skill.
Right, you're right. Yep.
Okay, so onto the next stuff. Where?
Yeah. Do we want to talk about the
Okay.
third option? because I chose the third option, day 2. Do we want to just talk about that now?
Sure, I didn't choose it at all.
Let me check out some music for a little bit. I want a secret attack, which I also chose.
Yes. And she basically just kind of scolds you. She's like, "Wow."
Yeah, there is no secret attack. You're stupid.
Yeah, she's like, "Wow, I can't believe you tried to take such a lazy route. If there were a secret attack, I would have told you already, of course." Pretty much kind of thing, like, just like, there's no easy way to defeat a servant, you dumbass. And yeah, that's about it.
Yeah. So then, Saber is hungry, so
Fuck.
Shiro leaves to buy groceries. Shiro left bike number 1 at Rito Temple.
So he takes bike number 2.
Just as Shiro's about to leave to go back home, he encounters Ilya.
Yes, the Ilias Fiel, the
Von Einsberg.
yes, the master of Berserker.
Um,
But she does not have Berserker on her right now.
she wants to talk to him at the park. And then when you get there, you find out that she didn't have anything to talk about. She just wanted to. She was gonna think of it when she got there.
Yes, it's a very weird scene. And then she's just kind of like, yeah, I kind of just do what my
This was a
parents
very
tell me.
interesting part.
Yeah.
This was a very weird moment. I don't know if this kind of seems like a big deal to me. I don't. Ilya isn't a magus.
Yeah. She doesn't have
only
the
a master.
she doesn't have the right, that's what it,
I think she has a
that's
circuit.
that's another failed. I don't know if that's technically a failed summoning, but it's another weird thing about this specific Lily Girl War. She's not a magus, but she has a servant.
So
She was
almost
brought into it by
exactly-
your family.
Almost exactly Shinji.
But she does know magic. She's just not technically a magic because she doesn't have the the magic crest.
She has a mansion in the woods just for her, and she has 2 minions.
And her grandfather's there, or it's her grandfather's like castle or something.
I assume Ryan got the ending, but you do see the maids in a dead end.
I did
You
not
see them
get
in
that.
the normal route too. Where you,
Do you?
I never saw her
Yes.
maids.
No, you don't see them in the normal route. I only saw them
I did?
after getting a dead end.
what do you
I
mean?
never saw her maids.
When Shiro goes there and he's kidnapped and he goes there.
Yeah.
Like,
There's a dead end. You don't see him unless you choose that dead end.
both dead ends.
I only got one of the dead ends.
Let's continue,
Okay.
because that's later.
Shiro shares his dorayaki with Ilya,
Yes.
which I looked up is a red bean pancake. It's just like a pancake, but it's filled with red bean.
Yes.
I think it's at this point Shiro mentions that this Ilya is different from the one who attacked him on day
Yeah.
3.
Yeah.
Um,
he mentions how like she's basically just a little child who doesn't really know what she's actually involved in.
She doesn't understand anything.
Ilya then has to leave because Berserker woke up.
Yes.
And
Does
Shiro-
that mean Berserker's in the same situation like Saber, where he can't go into his spirit form?
Maybe. Because she's not a magus.
Yeah, that's true.
Have we
She doesn't know magic.
was Ryder in spirit form when they were at the school?
No.
No, we never
Ryder
saw
was at home.
Ryder.
He, if I remember correctly,
yeah,
he
the
said
only-
he left his servant at home.
Yeah, he does. Because they go to the house and then you see Ryder in the corner.
And Shiro doesn't want to think of Ilya as an enemy. And then Shiro heads back. Shiro heads back.
Yes, and he
Let
and
me-
he makes specific note not to tell Rin and Saber because last time when he told them that he met up with Shinji, they kind of like scolded him. So he makes specific note not to say anything to either of them.
Now my next note is just a quote. And I don't remember exactly what the context, but I'm about to send a screenshot of the context. But I don't know what this says. But I'm about to send it, and the quote just says, "Is it dementia?" Let me send the image so I can see what the context here is. Oh.
Yes, it was just a joke. You fool.
Yeah, it was. I'm definitely happy that I wrote that down. That might be my
I
favorite line
think
in the
you
game.
have dementia.
Very ironic. Okay, my next note just says naked Saber.
Yes, Saber is naked.
Yes.
I'll send that too. I got a screenshot of that.
Of course you do. We just kind of run into her. In the shower
Yeah,
on
you have to go
accident.
take a shower or go to the bathroom or something, and Saber's in there.
Yep.
The music changes to just a heartbeat.
Yeah, and then Saber. There is an actually important conversation where Saber once again is just like, yeah, I don't. What this doesn't matter. We're master and servant, and also I just don't think of myself as a woman. I'm just a warrior. So this really doesn't matter.
Ryan, did you get screenshots of the day 11 scene?
No, I did not. I was too engrossed in it.
Thank God.
I'm excited to see what our opinions are on that scene because I. Feel
Oh,
like
I
my
hate it
opinions are
so
gonna
much.
differ.
We already know. You already know I don't like that scene.
Yeah, we'll get there when we get there. People.
All right,
Oh my
so
God,
after-
stop doing that order.
Okay, so after you see Saber naked and eat dinner, you go meet up with Tosaka in her room since she
Yeah,
promised to
Saber's-
teach you magic.
This is a weird bit in between there. I'll just send the image. Just this.
Oh yeah, that's that's a one-time sprite, but it is there.
Heroin.
Yeah, that's. I was very confused.
She
She was
explains it.
just drawing blood for like a jewel or something.
Yeah, she drops the blood onto the jewel.
Yeah, she
And
was
then she
making magic
smokes it.
bullets. And then here they.
I just sneezed. You're gonna have to cut that out.
I didn't hear it.
I know because it'll only be on the Audacity recording.
Oh. And then here they restate something from like day one that I entirely forgot existed, which is mana and odd.
Oh yes.
And mana is the large magic source. Odd is the smaller magic source. And you can get mana from making sacrifices and praying. And you get odd just from your own body.
Yes, and they talk about the temple a bit more there, don't they?
I don't think so.
Maybe not. All right.
Let's see. We also learn every magus in a bloodline masters a magic and puts it into a crystal and passes it down. And that's it from that's just it from Rin for the night.
Yeah, because we
she's-
break 30 of her antique pots.
because
Or not pots.
I thought that's the
lamps.
next day.
That's the next day? Maybe.
No,
Oh,
that's
no,
not-
no, yeah, she
Shiro-
just realizes how, like, you don't have a
Shiro
magic
doesn't
crest.
have a magic crest.
So
That's
she
that.
she has to reevaluate what her strategy was. And therefore,
Yeah, she needs to make a new plan,
Yes.
which is why they have to
So-
stop training for the day.
After that, Shiro goes outside and runs into
Wait,
Dante.
wait.
What?
My immediate next note is just, man, we really haven't seen Archer in a while.
Yeah, we haven't seen Dante in a while.
it's very funny because I was thinking the exact same thing, that we're just with Tosaka and we're like, wait, she has a servant, where is he? And then he just kind of shows up.
Yeah, immediately, Archer appears.
Dante from the Devil May Cry series decides that he's back in the story.
Day 7. 4 days after
Yes.
he almost died.
Yeah,
Yes.
I think day 8 they mentioned that he's been on the rooftop, like searching, like as a lookout. So maybe we just missed that, and that was always his job. But yeah, he just kind of shows up out of
Yeah,
nowhere.
he got injured and they said he was keeping watch. But they didn't really say anything about it since then. So then, Shiro and Archer have a natural disdain for each other.
Yes.
Archer tells Shiro that he needs to let Saber fight, and that Shiro's method of fighting will only let him save the people that survive an event that has already taken place. Shiro's way of thinking is too optimistic, and he will soon have a painful experience. There will always be people that cannot be saved. Will he follow that ideal without turning back?
Also, Archer is 100% right here. Shiro's kind of stupid.
And that's the end of day 7.
Yes.
I love the foreshadowing.
Yes. Also, Archer's awesome.
Dude, I love
What
Dante.
do you mean? What do you mean the foreshadowing? What painful experiences Shiro had yet?
Day 11? There's some people he can't just save.
I guess, but he didn't care about them.
Let us continue.
Day 8, morning training with Saber. And then you have the choice again, which we can skip.
Yes.
Oh wait, and then
Day 8, I am excited
screenshot-
for Day 8 because there's a
have a
seemingly very important decision.
I have this screenshot of Saber being mad at you for asking you about a secret attack. There it is.
Wait, hold on. Is Day 8?
I never saw that.
No, Day 9 is when the weird thing happens. Yeah, we'll talk about Day 9.
Big. Day 9 is big Nate.
Day 8, what happens on Day 8?
Yeah,
Day
well,
7,
right
the
now.
sequel.
There is no super move. Shiro goes to get lunch and is a bit disappointed when he doesn't see that Ilya. When he sees that Ilya is not there.
And you're prompted
and you
with
have a
the...
choice to go straight home or visit the park.
Yep. I assume we all went to the park?
Yeah, I went
Yes,
to the
we-
park.
Okay. Ilya's at the park and still plans on killing Shiro. She didn't choose to do the war. She was just told that she had to do it.
Yes, her grandfather's
Yes.
just like, yeah, you have to do this war, and she doesn't really question that.
She asks Shiro to be her servant.
But Shiro declines.
So she doesn't understand this stuff.
Yeah, to her, like, being a servant is just like, oh yeah, I serve you because I've just been here. This is where she kind of implies
that's
that
half
Berserker's
true, and
kind of
we'll get
always
there.
been there. What?
That's half true, and we'll get there.
Yeah.
Shiro declines and Ilya leaves sad. At home, Issei rings the doorbell, and he brought some apples to Shiro as a get well gift. In a bit,
He also
in a
breaks
little
his
bit,
bike.
you see that they're like, oh yeah, you all have to eat like 3 apples per day for us to get rid of all of these. So Issei spent a fuck ton of money on apples.
Yes, he did. He did
bring a
lot of apples.
Because fruit's expensive in Japan.
Yes, it is. It is very expensive.
This dude spent like fucking $100 on apples.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah,
not
as
100,
as a
maybe
get
like
as
50.
it all.
That's
To
a
note,
lot of apples.
he does this as a get well soon gift because he assumes that Shiro is out of school because he's actually sick. And then he immediately realizes that he's not, but gives him the apples anyway, and also is a real G because he brought the bike back.
He did. He brought the bike back. He sees
Bike
Saber,
number 1.
He sees Saber and believes her story is what I wrote next.
Yes.
Forget what her story is.
She's a relative.
Oh, okay. Issei also brought Shiro's bike and he wants to sit for some tea. And then Issei goes back home. But before he leaves, this is a weird thing I noted. Thinking back on it, it probably just has a simple explanation. But he says that Saber is a good person.
Yeah, he likes
And
Saber.
he can naturally sense that. But he hates Rin. So this could either just be something's up with Rin, or it's just that it's because of
I mean, Saber's a lot more
Saber's
pure-hearted
true
than
person.
Saber's a lot more pure-hearted than fucking Rin.
I think it's probably just him sensing Saber's true name.
Yes. Maybe. Who knows?
because he doesn't like women.
Yes. Anything else important on day 8?
It says that Saber was smiling.
Oh yeah. He
I
points
think I
out.
skipped it earlier.
He points out
but
that
I did
Saber
have a
was.
note
Sorry.
earlier where Saber is smiling in a spray.
He points out that Saber is smiling whenever Shiro is smiling.
Yeah.
Huh.
And then dinner happens, and we have a choice again.
What's this choice?
The choice is you can either say, Fujine, where is my gift? Because she said she would bring you back a gift.
Oh, yeah, this one.
Option 2 is stay away for a while. And option 3 is eat some mandarins, Fujine.
I
did
chose the first one.
Wait, what did you choose?
First one?
We all chose the gift?
Yeah.
Yeah, none of the
Okay.
other two really made sense to me.
Yeah, Fujine brought a stone mask plush for Shiro.
Yes.
I instantly
Which is
thought of
weird.
JoJo's.
And then there's just also tons of other plushies that she got while attempting to get this plush because she's like, oh yeah, I got this in a crane game.
Oh yeah, Peter. Important thing that's a pretty important thing. So in Japanese crane games,
Yeah?
you spend like $30-$40 on it. You can just go ask people to take the thing out for you.
Oh,
They'll just feel bad for you and they'll take it out for you.
interesting.
Interesting.
And then next is all caps. Saber with the baby lion, yo.
Okay, yeah,
She do have a baby lion.
And I have this screenshot right here.
Shiro gets a bunch of stuffed animals from his simp. And then Saber's like, ooh, I like this one.
Yeah, and I have a quote from her about it. She says, "I have longed for something small and cute."
The reason she likes it is because she's had a past experience with a baby lion that she raised for a single month.
Yeah, Saber has some bond with lions, and then we see that flash of her in her past, which is where I jotted down this point where whatever her true identity was, she is a girl.
Yeah.
Which was me thinking, oh, maybe she's not like King Arthur or something.
But did you know that she was King Arthur, Ryan? What?
I was thinking about it.
I was also thinking
Yeah, because
about
you
it.
mentioned King Arthur in the last one.
I did.
And then
your response
and then you
was like,
chuckled.
I just didn't say anything.
yeah, you were like, yeah.
And then
So
at
yeah,
that
was
time I
like,
knew.
Oh, at that time you had already known about King Arthur? Because
I think I did.
You played ahead, didn't you?
Yeah.
So then,
Or at least I
so
pieced it
it's
together.
nighttime, and Rina arrives, and she hits Shinji. Oh, correction. Next note is a correction. She beat up Shinji.
She slapped him in the face.
Yes, she
No,
beat
and
up
she beat him
Shinji.
up.
She beat him up.
Yeah, well, there's
slapped him and
blood
she
on
beat
her
him up.
fist. And he's like, that's why we find out, because there's blood on her fist. And he's like, yo, what the hell happened? She's like, I punched Shinji.
Best row
And we
material.
learn that Shinji tried to team up with Rin. And she declined because she prefers to be making the first move. Which is why she's bad at rock, paper, scissors.
Oh, yeah, that is mentioned.
Okay, next note is, at some point, a burglar raided the fridge.
It was Fujine.
I don't remember this.
No, because immediately next to it, I have not Fujine.
It was Fujine.
I think someone raided the fridge.
I don't remember this.
It's just a joke about how Fujine raids the fridge and then and she's like, no, it wasn't me. But it very clearly was her. Anyway.
I don't think it was her. She said it wasn't her.
All right. Yeah, I don't think
Next
Shinji. I don't think
Next
Shinji did the
note.
boundary field. He said it wasn't him.
Next note. Is Rin jealous of Saber?
Yeah.
There's like a weird line here. No, that's what it is. Rita's like eating dinner. She's just angry. She's like very visually upset when Shiro and Saber are talking. Which I guess in a little bit we find out that might just be because. Let me see.
We find out later that she is jealous of Saber for different reasons.
Okay, well, so next we'll move on. Rita's going to be skipping school too.
Yes.
So then they go to start training magic. and then Rita gives Shiro some dots.
Yes, and he just swallows them.
And then he eats his dots because he's hungry.
And then, yeah, now your body's
and
on
then-
fucking fire, dumbass.
It was not dots. It was jewels.
They had magic.
Don't jewel with kids.
Don't do dots. The jewel forces his internal switch on.
Oh, we also, she also mentions how he has been doing magic wrong this entire time and has been forcefully trying to recreate a magic circuit in himself each time, which just isn't, that's not what you're supposed to do. That would, like, almost kill you each time. You should just turn on the switch because you've already created the magic circuit.
So, like, instead of turning on the light, he makes a light every time he uses magic.
Yes. It's hard to affect. Okay, you can't use like magic. You can't do things to things if they are carrying the magic energy of someone else.
Uh-huh.
So like if Shiro were to strengthen the lamp, no one would be able to really do anything to it because it already has its magic in it.
Yes. Can we mention, real quick, because this is my second, not even theory, I'm just mad this isn't ever brought up or, like, specifically said that it can't happen. So Shiro, if he fails to strengthen something, we know that it breaks. We see it with the lamp, it shatters. We see it with the board he tries later, it just breaks in half. Which, both of these instances, I just immediately think to, wouldn't it be a valid strategy to intentionally fail strengthening magic on something that you want to shatter? Could you not grab someone's arm, fail strengthening magic, and shatter their arm?
Okay, but, like, what if
Could he
actually-
not
Okay,
during?
That's a big point.
Could
Peter.
he not?
Because I think that goes back to what I literally just said.
No. There's another one. Later, he's tied up, and instead of, like, just failing strengthening magic on the rope, he just, like, burns his hands off pretty much, trying to rope burn his arms out.
Well, no.
Could he not have just used strengthening magic on the
Okay,
rope and
point.
failed on purpose, and then just
Point.
shattered the rope that he was tied up with?
Okay, first point. I don't think you'd be able to break someone's arm because they have their own magical energy flowing through them.
Well, then how about
They just
someone
said
who
that
doesn't
you
have
can't.
magic?
Maybe, I don't know.
I'm just
And
kind of mad
the
that's
second
never
one with
brought up.
The rope, he couldn't use magic there.
Yes, he had to do. Well, he had
His
to.
body was drained.
Yes, he had to remove the magic energy from the thing.
Okay. So let's see what else we got. Strengthen magic increases something's effect. Transformation magic adds like a just a passive, I guess, ability to it. Like you can add fire to something.
I thought it was more like what he does later when he turns that stick into a bow.
Well, no, the exact example that they give is putting fire on something.
Okay.
And then there's projection, where you can create something from nothing. But projections disappear quickly.
This does not need to be in the video. Continue, please.
After training, Archer appears to Shiro. He says that Rin is worried for him, and he continues to tell Shiro how bad he is at magic. Archer then says that when fighting someone tough, Shiro should imagine what he could use to beat them with.
Which is a mirror of what Kirei says at the temple, the church.
And then I wrote, I assume this is projection magic. And then I wrote Theory Rider's Headless Horseman. Which we already talked about.
Oh, that's day 9. Did you just get to day 9?
We're on day 9 right now.
Alright. Day 9's where some weird shit happens.
Where did day 9 go? What the fuck? There it is. Day 9. Shiro dreams about the fire 10 years ago, and he says that he doesn't feel angry and never dwindles on the past. So then Shiro goes to breakfast, and there's only toast.
Yes, because he was late, and he only made toast.
He only made toast.
Fujine's mad.
Fucking god. Whatever. Fuck Shiro. He goes to train with Saber. Rin watches the training. Lunchtime is just Rin and Saber hitting on each other.
Indeed.
Yeah.
And then we have the quote, "I have never thought of myself as a woman," from Saber. And then I was thinking maybe Joan of Arc. Oh god, my phone's dying. I need these notes. Then there's magic training, and we have a choice. Yeah.
This is a very weird thing. Did any of us make...
To leave.
Did any of us...
Okay,
Yeah.
so the choice is to either go get Rin, because you're done with the lamps, or you can just wait for it.
Did any of us choose to wait?
I went and got Ren.
None of us?
Blade?
Oh, sorry. Push talk. I went to go get Ren.
Okay.
Cool.
So we all saw this scene.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man.
This is a very weird scene. So Saber and Rin are in the shed, and they are talking, and Rin's basically just like, "What the fuck is this?" And then she talks about how Shiro has some sort of ability where he can just draw magic from absolutely nowhere, and she's like extremely mad about it. Did I miss anything there? It's a very short scene, but that is what happens seemingly, right?
Is that what's being discussed?
Well, that's not what I got from it.
Say what you got from
I
it.
didn't. I don't know where you. I don't know about the drawing magic from nowhere part. All I have written down is Shiro isn't a magus.
What? Yeah, we already knew that.
No, but he's something else entirely.
Oh yeah.
I didn't write down anything about getting magic from
I'm
nowhere.
gonna sneeze again. No, he does get magic from nowhere. That is definitely a thing.
Oh, but then we get a phone call from Shinji. Shinji wants to talk at school.
And
some
Shiro
girls
just
hang
automatically trusts him. There is no option here.
And then Shiro gets to the school and some weird shit's happening to him. He's like that's nausea. And then people are dying. And their skin is melting.
Yes. And Fujine
and then
is
we find out
probably going to die.
that Shinji created the seal. He lied. He's alive.
Yes, and then he brings out...
He's alive.
Yes, and then he brings out Ryder, and he's like, alright, fuck him up, Ryder. And then Shinji... No, not Shinji.
Yeah, wait, little important.
What?
Because it hasn't been 8 days yet. He activated the seal before the 8 days, and it lessens the effect.
Yes.
So it doesn't cover the entire school.
I think it was just that it takes longer for people to die.
I think that's
Oh, that
what
too.
it was. But he does close the seal, and so he talks about oh yeah, Fujine's like, oh yeah, get an ambulance, and he's like, why the fuck would I do that? And then he kicks her to the ground, which immediately made me never have any sympathy for Shinji ever again, and I'm glad he dies later.
Spoilers.
We're getting to that in this video, so it doesn't matter.
And then he creates 3 black edges.
Yeah, which is weird. He's also holding a book, seemingly, which is he's never really shown to hold a book in any of his other sprites, and then in this specific sprite,
Are we sure he's able to hold the book?
I
no, I
don't
mean
think
like
he
it
has
could
hands.
be a magic book. Is what I'm talking about.
He probably is.
And he definitely has some sort of weird thing where he's able to do magic despite lying. Maybe he lied and said he couldn't, but he's definitely able to do magic because later he's just on the roof. He's just invisible. You can't see where he is.
I don't think he was actually invisible. I think he was just hiding.
He's hiding. You're trying to find him, and he's like, seems our skills are farther apart than you thought. And then you don't find him until, like, later. When he shows himself. Anyway.
Yeah, I don't think Shinji can read. That was weird that he was holding a book.
Shiro
It's a
is
good choice.
so fucking mad. Oh yeah, there is a choice. It's like
We have
dodge or
yeah.
block.
The options are there's no need to stop running, or I can't block it myself.
I chose
can't
can't block it myself.
Really?
Yeah.
I just
I can't block it.
I didn't stop running.
I can't block it is the right one.
No, I didn't stop running, and I didn't stop running, and he just fucking dodges it easily.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You click I can't block it myself, and he's able to dodge it thanks to Saber's training.
Oh, that's
so
the
it doesn't
exact
matter.
same. So the choice doesn't matter. I thought it said I can block it myself, and so I chose the. There's no need to stop running. I definitely chose. There's no need to stop running.
My phone's going from 15 to 5.
Plug it in.
It's plugged. It'll be plugged into my computer. That's not going to charge it.
All right.
It'll just stall the inevitable. The ticking of the clock.
Is that not better than it dying faster?
I guess, according to Albert Einstein.
Yeah, meat. Anyway, so
he's able to dodge.
dodges it easily thanks to Saber straining. Yes.
Shiro goes to grab Shinji, but Ryder cuts through the air, stopping.
Yes, that's when Ryder shows up.
This was another point to her being Headless Horseman. Shiro feels like he feels like Ryder's about to chop his head off.
That is something the Headless Horseman tries to do to everyone else.
And then you have the choice of try to beat her or that you can't match her.
I said I can't match her.
Yeah, I can't match her.
But I guess that's probably what I chose. And then you see that Ryder's weapon is just 2 giant nails chained together. And Shiro's then thrown out the window. And you got some options here.
Also, yeah, he gets cut up pretty bad.
I thought he jumps out the window.
Okay, choice? There's 3
No, he
options
gets
here.
thrown
I'm
out the
very
window.
intrigued.
Okay.
So the choice is option number 1 is to summon Saber. Who here chose to summon Saber?
I did not choose specifically to summon Saber.
I chose the second one.
Blade, what did you? So you both chose if I can get Saber to help me.
Yes.
I chose don't use the commands.
Did you die?
Did you die?
And this is an extremely interesting death.
Okay.
I don't understand.
What happened?
You hit the ground, but your blood isn't pouring out of your back. It's pouring out of your chest. Because there are a million swords sticking out of Shiro's stomach.
What?
Unlimited blade works?
I don't know what is happening here. But they just said that there's swords are sticking out of Shiro's stomach, and the CG I couldn't even see Shiro in the CG. It was just a bunch of blades.
What the hell?
Perhaps unlimited blades?
Yeah, it might be, but I don't know why that would be there.
Yeah, that's weird.
That's very odd.
I'm getting...
So,
Yeah, that's a dead end. And then I hit the. And then I hit summon Saber, or if I can get Saber to help me, I think it's also just the one I chose.
I think either work.
Yeah.
But anyway, we use the command spell, Saber comes. That's the first time we use a command spell, right?
What? She does?
That's later. Anyway, Saber comes and helps us. She catches us, and then she runs up the wall and goes to fight Ryder. I forget how we get back in the building.
she catches you, doesn't she?
Well, yeah, she
Yeah.
catches you. Does she bring you back up to the building? I thought
Oh,
she just
no,
ran
you
up the
might
wall.
run back up.
No, she goes. You both just go inside.
Okay.
And she goes after Ryder. You go after Shinji.
Yes, and we fucking break Shinji's arm.
This is. Hey. Shiro strengthens a mop
He does do that.
while Saber holds back Ryder. Shiro smacks the black edges away with the mop, punches Shinji, slams him against the wall, and breaks his arm.
Good.
Yeah, it's amazing. I love it so
And
much.
then he grabs his neck.
Yeah, and then he's like, "All right,
He's not.
revoke
he's
your
not hesitating.
revoke your command spell, or I snap your neck."
No,
He's
he
like,
wants us to stop the barrier.
No, you won't.
Dude,
Well,
he won't hesitate, bitch.
yeah, no, he wants him to stop the barrier, and then Shinji just does. And then he's like, "All right, now revoke your command
No.
spell, or I'll break
No,
your
no,
neck."
he hesitates to do the barrier.
No.
Shinji calls his bluff.
No, that's right. He
No,
want.
it wasn't a bluff.
He
Shinji's
says-
like, no, you're not gonna do it.
He says, "Do." He says, "Revoke your."
Shinji's not gonna. Shinji's like, no, yeah, I'm not gonna do
No,
it. You're
no,
not gonna kill me. And then Shiro tells Shinji to either use all of his command spells or to cut off his arm.
But it's not on his arm.
What?
We don't know if it's on his arm.
Yes, but he does
I guess.
say he'll just have his arm cut off.
Ryder protects him, and she's going to use her Noble Phantasm, which if you check the stat page, you know it's an A+.
Whoa. I'm sorry, this is so unrelated. She cuts her
Okay,
neck,
she slashes. She slashes her
And
neck. Magic circle is drawn in the air with the.
and then a giant beam of light that is later to be revealed to be a Pegasus destroys part of the school, and then we go home.
yeah, Shaka destroys everything around.
And then we talk to Rin early the next day.
Wait.
Is there-
I'm not finished with day 9 yet.
Oh my
actually.
god.
Okay, Shiro dreams about the fire again.
That is
and we
true.
See Kiritsugu's face.
Yes, that is important. Good thing you did not.
Shiro wakes up, and all this. Rin tells him that all the students and teachers are okay. Shiro goes to the dojo to talk to Saber, and Saber's angry, but Shiro apologizes. And says that he's going to fight alongside Saber from now on. They give a handshake. A hot handshake. And Rin walks in on them doing their hot handshake.
Rin is jealous.
Saber borrows clothes from Rin. Shiro's exhausted and goes to sleep, and he plans to find Shinji tomorrow. Now we're on daytime.
Yes.
How long have we been recording?
We've been recording for a while. We started at 9.
An hour 40.
Yeah. You were right. This wouldn't take an hour 40. It will take longer. Now then. What else is there?
Daytime.
I was in the
Shiro
middle of
has a
saying
nightmare.
something. Yeah, Shiro does have a nightmare. You're right.
And then he wakes up.
Which is okay. This is very important. This is very important nightmare
Yeah?
because he's doing something. He's doing the thing that he literally just said he doesn't do. He said that he does not dwindle on the past. But in this nightmare, he's dwelling on whether the event just happened was something that he couldn't stop.
True.
Because he doesn't think he's really saved anyone because there's still going to be damage.
Right.
And after waking up, Shiro tells Saber about the plan to find Shinji.
And also, what? Oh yeah. So he talks to Rin, and Rin kind of gives him the rundown of what's going on. She's like, oh yeah, Kirei is taking care of the school. Everyone's being treated for malnutrition, which is interesting. But yeah, there are people who are like permanently blinded by this.
That happened last night, Peter. Get with the program, oh my god.
Then why didn't you let me finish it? Because I was talking
I
about
already
it.
said that.
No, you didn't. You didn't say anything about Kirei. You said nothing about Kirei.
What about Kira?
Kirei,
What?
he fixes the school.
I wrote...
And also, Fujine is
okay,
fine.
I guess he did. I didn't write that down. I didn't think that was important, so I didn't write it down.
I thought it was
all I wrote
important because it's the
teachers are okay.
Yeah, the last time. Yeah, no one died. But there's some people who might be permanently blinded because of this, and also the flesh melting didn't just reverse itself. That's still a thing. So.
Ouch.
So next is, after waking up, Shiro tells Saber about the plan to find Shinji, and finding Shinji is more important than resting. Saber's armor isn't that strong against other servants, which is very important. Because they've made it seem like her armor's like impenetrable throughout this entire game, but I guess it's not strong.
Yeah, only magic is really what's like impenetrable to her, because in the Berserker fight, her armor gets fucked up.
Most noble phantasms are just anti whoever they're fighting, but with Riders is anti-armor, so it's, I guess it's not as like, maybe it's not as damaging, I don't, but it's useful against a group of people, I assume is what they're trying to say.
Yeah, it's very weird because they kind of explain it as if, well, I mean, it is a pretty overpowered noble phantasm, and they kind of explain it as if it's like any normal noble phantasm of that class isn't usually overpowered, but this one specifically is just fucking broken.
Okay, so next is they have to defeat Ryder before she's able to use her noble phantasm. Fujine is okay, she's just fatigued. Probably. Still haven't seen her yet. So Shiro and Saber go looking for the next boundary field.
No, Fujine's in the hospital.
Yeah, but we haven't seen her.
Yeah, we call her estate though. We call her family or something.
Shiro
We don't
and Saber go
hear
for
the phone
boundary
call.
field.
Like he says that he mentions that he called them.
Shiro isn't going to talk to Sakura until the war is over.
Yes.
Saber. So they go to the park, and Saber senses something there. And Shiro's wound starts aching because of he still isn't rested enough. So they just like sit on the bench for like an hour, and Saber tries to get Shiro to put his head in their lap.
It's kind of implied that is what happened because he falls asleep, but there's no like reaction to that happening. So I guess not.
Yeah. And so then during that, Shiro has another dream about the fire.
Because he's in the fucking park that it happened
Right.
in.
This is another weird thing. In the dream, Shiro has a fire wound on his chest. But when he wakes up, he says that didn't happen.
Right, you're right. He's like, yeah.
What's up with that?
Yeah, he was like, I think it might have just been that like he was experiencing breathing problems within the real world, so like he was dreaming about it as if he was part of the fight that happened in the fire. But it's very weird that they mention it at all. So yeah, that's weird. Something that happened.
When he wakes up, it's nighttime. It's been an hour. Saber tells Shiro that he needs to value himself more. And they feel someone watching them, so they go to look for the source. So they go to that skyscraper from like day 2. then Shiro starts to head for the park. Like, I guess again? I didn't realize that they tried to go back. That was weird. They were just at the park. But he tries to go to the park, and he's attacked, but Saber blocks the blow. And Ryder is on the side of the
Yeah.
skyscraper.
Yes.
Just like the opening.
Yeah, I assume that the opening draws from that. And then
Like at the start of this video, too.
yes. And then there's a big fight. Big old fight.
Yeah. You know what? Okay, there's a choice here.
Oh yeah, there is a
There's
choice.
a choice here. And the choices are to stand by because you can't do anything, or to follow Saber and try fighting too. And Peter, I assume you I assume we all
Yeah.
chose follow Saber.
yes.
So and Blade, you picked follow Saber also.
Yes.
Okay, so I picked stand by.
What happened?
Because Archer, because there's a whole thing with Archer being like, you can't do anything. You have to think of things to help you win. You can't just do it by yourself. So I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna follow Saber because I don't have anything to do that with. So I hit standby. So here's what happens when you hit standby. Saber and Ryder reach the rooftop. Shiro, and he sees like stuff going on out there. And he thinks Ryder is using her noble phantasm, so he runs up the stairs as fast as he can. And the building shakes as he's going up. When he reaches the rooftop, he sees the result of Ryder's noble phantasm. Saber is unconscious, but still breathing, and Ryder is gone, so Shiro can only assume that Saber defeated her.
Interesting.
Saber's magical energy is almost empty, and she's going to disappear in this state. To get more energy to Saber, she will need to kill innocent people, and Shiro has to make a decision by the morning.
Oh my god, you missed a huge scene.
Day 11.
Yeah.
You missed a huge scene.
No, wait, let me go to day 11. This will be cool, guys.
Mhm.
You ready?
Yeah.
Shiro goes on a walk to the park and encounters Ilya. Ilya was watching last night at the building and knows that Saber is going to disappear. She plans to kill Shiro right here. Shiro loses consciousness and wakes up inside Ilya's mansion. And then she goes to use the command spell appears in her body, like when you see it later.
Yeah.
And everything was black and white, and you die. It's a bad end.
That's
Wait, how do you die?
That's weird.
Yeah, so that's why I thought it was on day 11.
How did you die?
I understand now.
And then you get a Tiger Dojo, and you're like, man, they were supposed to be an H scene there.
Really?
That is the first time they mention that H scene. There's another time they mention it.
So then back to day 10. What actually happens? You choose to follow Saber. See, there's an interlude here. And Saber and Ryder are fighting up the building, and that's all that's in the interlude. Back to Shiro. He's running up the stairs. The same shit happens, except now Ryder is riding a Pegasus in the sky.
Yep.
Yes, of course. And
And Ryder,
I forget what the true name is, but yeah,
I have it here. I'll get to it in a
it's like
second.
ephemeral, whatever.
Except, so Ryder's fighting Saber on the Pegasus. The Pegasus is insanely powerful.
Yeah, they
And then they
do like a whole monologue about how it's like dragon tier, like from the
Yeah.
time of the elder gods that Pegasus has been existing, and
And then,
how dragons are the most powerful thing in existence, but even that Pegasus is on the tier of those dragons, and it's crazy.
so a little thing here. They mentioned the Pegasus itself is not the noble phantasm.
Mm-hmm.
The phantasm is just the golden reins that are used to control it.
Right, yeah.
Oh.
And then so we also Shinji's on the roof. And I have a theory here that I'll get to at the end, but I'm very excited about this theory.
Keep going.
But I'm also thinking that may not actually be it, now that I've seen some things. But Ryder shoots into the sky arcs and then aims downward towards Saber. The noble phantasm is Bellerophon.
Bellerophon. Which is itself a mythical creature from Greek mythology,
Yes.
but does not
It is-
seem to
it is
actually
a-
usually have a
It is
rider,
a-
from what I could
a
find.
thing that existed in real life,
Yes.
as they do. Saber unleashes the wind in her sword, and the sword's true form is unveiled. Saber then uses Excalibur and defeats Rider, slashing the sky.
She's King Arthur. Whoa.
Whoa.
And there's a cool scene where fucking he's like, wow. Yeah, of
Shinji
course
runs
I know
away
that,
when he
man.
realizes that he is at a disadvantage, and Saber collapses.
There's a choice here. I wonder what you guys
And then-
chose.
Choice. You have the choice of following Shinji or running to Saber.
Did
I followed
anyone
Shinji.
go to Saber?
Yeah, you follow Shinji, and Shinji is pulling like. Okay, wait, Blade, you've seen Death Note, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Underwater.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, he's just doing what Light does at the end of Death Note, the last episode, like the last 3-4 minutes.
He's just running away scared.
And then he dies on the
and
stairs.
Then he encounters Ilya, and Ilya just fucking kills him. Right there, he's dead.
We should mention that we see this from the perspective of Shinji.
Yeah. My note here just says that Shinji is fucking dead. Holy shit.
And he kind of
Poggers.
deserves it.
Kind of. Slightly. Very slightly.
Mostly, yes.
And then Shiro sees the blood, runs back to Saber. Saber has a fever, and Shiro carries her home. Saber will disappear. But he needs to kill for souls. Day 11.
Or there's something
Day
else
11.
that can be done that Reed mentions
Yeah, but
offhandedly.
it's not mentioned here because it's not
Yeah,
important.
we don't know what it is, but she does mention that something happens. Something could happen. Day 11, my favorite day, but also sucks.
So day 11, Arturia was a woman.
Arturia.
Fate Stay Night was the first thing to have confirmed that Arturia in real life was a woman. That's incredible.
Wait,
What
what?
do you mean? Is Arturia the name of?
Arturia being a woman was not known until Fate Stay Night came out.
Arturia is the name that Fate came up with. I assumed in any other mythos it's just Arthur. Am I wrong?
Yes, but we didn't know that they were a woman until Fate.
Oh my god.
This is how is this shit not in a museum?
Can we continue? King Arthur's not even a real person.
Shut the fuck up, Peter.
King Arthur isn't a real person. What are you talking about? What?
You're saying that women don't matter?
This has nothing to do. What? Okay.
He would be saying women aren't real, if anything.
What the fuck? We ever sexist? Okay, let's get him out of here. Get him out of here.
You can't.
He owns the group
Yeah.
chat.
Continue, please.
Day 11.
The sword in the dream is different from the one that Saber uses.
Yeah, that's weird, but yes.
Yes, that sword is called Caliber.
Yes. Caliber.
And then we get a quote from Shiro being, he says, "I am easily attracted to swords."
He does say that. It's very weird.
Is that him having
I mean, Saber.
a gay realization?
What? Saber is the sword. It was.
I think he wants to sword fight.
I think he does too, but I don't think.
What's the next note?
Blade's too young to understand.
I'm too tired for this shit.
Shiro hears noises coming from the shed outside. And then we learn that it was
Moans.
Archer. Archer was making those weird noises from outside.
Yeah, he's shooting a bow with no
Shed.
arrows.
You could say that that's what he's doing. That's a good way to word it.
That is what he's doing. He's shooting a bow with no arrows, and he's like, I don't need the arrows. I know where the arrows would go.
a weird euphemism, but I got it.
I don't even think you used the word right.
Archer's wound has healed. We learned this right here. And Archer tells Shiro to follow through to the end, and that Saber used her noble phantasm, knowing that it would use all of her magic energy.
Yes.
So Shiro goes to the park to think. Ilya appears. She was watching last night. She's going to kill Shiro. This shit does not make sense.
Why? What?
Why the fuck did I die last time?
Because they needed you to fucking... I don't know why they even gave you the choice. Is really the question.
First, on the way to the mansion, or when he's sitting in the chair or something, Shiro's like, Caliburn. I'm thinking of Caliburn. And I'm like, oh, that's why. I needed to have seen Caliburn in the thing. I needed to have seen the golden sword, to have dreamed about Caliburn, to have thought about Caliburn to get out of this chair. And then he doesn't fucking use Caliburn to get out of the chair.
But he still needs to use Caliburn later, so they didn't want you to go all the way to the end of the Berserker fight and then realize that he doesn't see Caliburn, so he can't do anything.
Literally,
so they just kill you there.
The reason you die in that one wrong and the one bad end happens in this day, except just conveniently you don't die here. You're just hurt badly. It upsets me immensely.
I don't know why they made a choice that would lead you to that badly written bad ending, but they did do it. So, I mean, it's not like...
Oh, day 11. 2 full pages, let's go.
Oh, boy.
Actually, no, 1 full page, and then, like, a little bit of the next page. While unconscious, Shiro remembers what Archer told him about imagining how to beat a servant.
And also what Kirei told him.
Shiro tries to imagine the golden sword. He wakes up in Ilya's mansion, tied to a chair. And at least half a day has passed.
Her magic... We learn about, like, magic gaze or something.
You can't just call them
Shut
that.
the fuck up. We learn about how, like, Ilya can just, like, stare into your eyes and just immediately nullify your magic with her eyes, and how eyes are like prone to suggested magic.
Yeah. I'm forgetting the order of events, but she confirms that she's not going to kill you, but rather she wants to make you her servant. So eventually Ilya continues the
She
conversation.
asks him to be her servant, and then you have the choice of agreeing or disagreeing.
Did you get this bad in as well, Ryan? What did you choose?
I hit disagree.
Yes.
You both disagree?
Why would I hit agree?
So I got that bad ending.
Oh wait, no, I hit agree.
Okay, yeah, so
Oh,
we
you're
both got
both
this
dumb.
dead end.
I
This
hit agree
dead end.
because I was like, the Master of Berserker goes insane every time. I think this will lead to that.
I had a similar thought. It was just more so it might keep me safe if I do this. But what happens in this end is that her servants come in, like her maids, and basically they're tasked with putting your soul in a doll.
Oh shit.
I'm not kidding. In the Tiger Dojo, you see Ilya holding like a plushie of Shiro.
Damn.
So yeah, it's just canon in that ending that she put you in a doll before Tosaka and Saber got there.
Speaking of, if you don't do that dumb ending, Tosaka and Saber save you, and there's a funny scene where you break yourself out and then immediately hear footsteps, and so you have to choose one of these 3 choices.
It was pretend you're still tied up, sit on the bed, or attack.
Yeah, there's something about the bed, and then there's prepare to fight.
What did you choose?
what did you choose? Your choices were fight, sit and pretend to be tied up, and the bed.
I chose the pretend to be tied up.
Wait, what'd you choose?
Pretend to be tied up.
I chose the bed.
What does the bed do? Why would you choose the bed? What's the reasoning behind that?
Because I was like, okay, it's definitely not fight, because it could be someone that we know. And I thought sit and pretend wouldn't work, because that just puts us out in the open. If we're in the bed, they don't know that we're there, and I thought it was the safest option.
All right.
So I hide in the bed, and it's just she was just like, yeah, I'm hiding in the bed. Holy shit. And
Yeah?
Then the funny music starts playing, and Saber's like, sure, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, if you pretend to be tied up, Saber just comes in and she's like, oh wow, I gotta untie you, and then you just stand up and you're like, no, I was just pretending, and she's like, wow, what a genius idea, like pure genius, pretending to be tied up.
Yeah, she was so like proud of us.
And then I assumed we were gonna just like jump out the window, but we didn't do that. We took the fucking. We go out the hallway.
Imagine if they did jump out the window.
Oh wait, you gotta mention that Reen and Archer are also there.
Yes, Reen and Archer are also there. Yeah, that's important. There you go. And
so
then we go out in the
main
hallway.
entrance.
We think we're safe because they think that.
Oh yeah,
Ilya
we
and
think
Berserker left.
Yeah, we think Berserker and Ilya left
now,
because she claimed to, but she did not actually.
And now Ilya shows up. She never left. She was just hiding.
And we're put in a situation where Shiro and Saber are not able to fight, and we have Tosaka and Archer.
Yeah. Rin orders Archer to fight Heracles so that they can escape, and Archer plans to defeat him.
Yeah, he asks for permission to defeat him.
And then he says, "You are a maker, not a fighter," to Shiro.
Yes.
I
don't understand how Archer knows this shit.
And then he also says, "Do not forget, what you imagine is always that you yourself are the strongest. You do not need outside enemies. For you, the one you have to fight is none other than your own image."
I don't get how he knows this
So-
shit, but he's a badass.
And then Rin Saber.
Shiro, Saber, and Tosaka start running. They try to escape the forest, but there's a point where they realize they just can't.
Yeah, and Shiro's carrying Saber and is fucking killing him because of his heart problems that he got from using too much magic.
So Tosaka thinks it's better if they rest in the morning and then escape. No, it's better for them to rest and then defend themselves there. So they find this oddly convenient shed that has an oddly...
That Archer pointed out.
No, hey, it's a ruin.
Sorry.
It is a ruin. And Archer pointed it out, and also Tosaka's like, someone must have been staying here until recently.
Yep. We find this ruin, and it oddly conveniently has a nice-looking bed.
Yeah, and then Archer dies.
We asked
Yes.
Tosaka how's Archer doing. She smiles in pain and says he did his best, basically.
So they have to beat Heracles if they want to escape, and Shiro has to have sex to replenish.
Oh my
Saber.
fucking god, I hate this scene so much.
So, okay, so...
Now we have to talk about the H scene.
Wait, hey, wait.
What?
Very important note.
What?
Saber gives consent.
Yes.
Shut up,
very
let me
important
explain.
note.
So, Saber needs her magical energy, and Shiro needs to give her that energy. Tosaka's like, you guys like sex? Because that's a way to do it.
And
I hate this scene so much.
And then Rin kisses Shiro.
That was
we
hot.
don't need to explain the sex scene. We really
do.
don't. No, we don't.
So okay, just
The important part
we'll
is that
talk about it.
Tasaka's like. Okay,
I do want
someone.
to talk about it
yeah,
bit by bit, but we'll cut that out.
don't talk about it. All that
but
needs
I
to
do
be
want- I
known
do want-
is that
I do want-
Tasaka is also involved, even though she doesn't really need to be. She's just making everyone horny. That's her point.
Well, yeah, she had to get everyone...
That's why she's the best.
She had to get everyone excited.
All right.
So
I
just
don't
in
like
general-
this. I don't like this in general. I feel like it wasn't needed. I feel like
It wasn't
Just-
even voiced.
it wasn't voiced on, but like it wasn't
Yeah, it
voiced because that's
wasn't
just like
voiced because the original release of the game that had the issues just wasn't voiced.
yeah. It just felt contrived. It took me out of the action because they were like, let's just have this badly written H scene. That's what we need.
Okay.
Um,
what are your thoughts?
Hold on. I think my thoughts on this entire thing can be summed up with this one screenshot.
My balls control.
I hate it so much. This is as soon as I saw this line, it's such a slow scene in the first place. And I see this line and I'm like, I'm skipping the rest of the dialogue.
Okay, Blade, what are your thoughts?
Man.
Wait, Peter, you skipped it?
I did not skip the dialogue, I just started
Okay.
reading faster.
Blade, what are your
I
thoughts?
turned off auto read.
Okay, so I have the privilege of doing this first. So when I just didn't hear their voices, I knew something was going on. And I remembered they mentioned a bed, so I was like, damn, we're doing an H scene, aren't we?
I already remembered that Ryan had specifically told us that the H scenes won't be voiced, so as soon as there were no voices, I knew what was happening, and I didn't like it.
I forgot, but I was just like, this is an H scene, isn't it? Man, it feels out of place. Whether or not you like it or not, it felt very out of place. Tosaka told us Archer's fucking dead, and then you're like, let's have sex.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like, wow, dang, Archer's dead. Alright, so, we have to make love now. That is
Okay,
what's
so
needed.
Make love to survive.
Dig out.
Dick out, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
I will
Yeah,
admit,
Archer dead, Archer's in, dig out now.
I will admit, Tosaka caught me off guard.
Um,
I thought she was just gonna
Okay,
leave the
you
room
didn't-
or something.
you didn't answer whether or not you liked it.
You're not getting an answer.
Okay, so my thoughts. I guess the most important thing, it definitely took away from the scene entirely.
Yeah.
I'm glad we can
Number two.
all agree.
Point number 2.
I literally had to stop playing for the night.
Oh no, I kept going. I kept going after that.
I was like, wow. This is detailed.
I was so tempted to say something when I first played this, but it's like, no, I can't. I just.
There's like four CGs.
It was more detailed than I expected it to be.
Yeah. Especially like the part where you actually go inside Saber.
So yeah, it was kind of hot. I'll give it that.
Something that made me really crack up.
Wait, that brings me to my third point.
Oh.
It was fucking hilarious.
It was hilarious.
I lost my shit at some of these lines.
My balls contract.
No, my personal favorite. My personal favorite line is Shiro, like, in middle of the action, just talks about how he can't focus because of Tosaka's moaning. I don't know why, but just him complaining was the funniest thing to me.
Okay, I actually have a list of quotes here. Actually.
Oh my
I'm
god.
so happy that you wrote down these quotes, Ryan.
These
That
are-
was the most
these are-
important notes
These are
you could have written.
hilarious.
Please,
So all
please
of my
continue.
notes. All of my notes are Rena's on. This is where it started just being in all caps. Rena's on top of Saber. Naked Saber 2. Okay, so then quotes. I didn't think I swung this way.
I started laughing so hard.
I forgot about that.
I don't even know who said that. I don't know which one of them said that. I thought it was Rin, but I was just like, you initiated this, and then you go, I didn't think I swung this way.
Quote, second quote just says, schlick, schlick.
Schlep.
There was a lot of that.
I'm completely defeated. He's looking at his own dick, and he says, "It looks ugly compared to Saber."
Yeah. And he's true. He's right.
I'll save my favorite line for last, but the next one just says, "The two of them stare at my cock."
Yeah. Yep.
She must be able to feel the ruggedness of my rim.
I
remember
remember reading that one. I remember reading that one because I was like, "What the fuck does this mean?"
And then Rin pushes Shiro in.
Oh my god!
She does.
Okay, did you hear me and Blade talking about how much they just talk about they're in pain?
Yeah.
God.
My balls contract. And then, dude. And then they're like, "Wait, Shiro, you have to wait until Saber's ready to come."
Yeah, they do
And
mention this.
he says, even though it feels good enough already.
Yeah. He's so oblivious.
It's like, what? I'll come if I let my guard down.
Oh, I remember all of these. Oh my god.
It's for my favorite line. Shiro is standing there with his dick out, and he looks at Saber and he says, where is it? He says, "That's going to go into you now."
Yeah.
God.
And then we get an interlude.
Does this?
Yeah, and the interlude's weird too.
Oh yeah.
The
They
interlude
say
just.
that, Archer and Heracles defeated each other.
No.
They're both dead.
No.
Archer.
That's not yet.
Yeah,
Fury.
yeah.
They're both dead. Archer and Heracles are both dead.
Yes. Heracles died 6 times.
Yes, he did.
Heracles was killed 6 times.
Yeah, they mentioned that they killed each other.
Well, they don't
But
say that
he's
he
not dead.
died 6 times because that's revealed a little later. But
They said fatal blows.
yes, Ilya says, "I can't believe you let him land 6 fatal blows on you."
Yeah, they said that they both killed each other, but Heracles isn't dead.
Yeah. So basically, that scene is Heracles and Ilya recovering from that fight with Archer. Archer's just dead, and Ilya's upset that Heracles can't fully heal, but she thinks he's well enough to take on Saber at his current state.
And she's kind of right. I thought that was gonna be her downfall, but like he wrecked shop.
Yeah. And then that one line you mentioned, she doesn't care anymore, Ilya. She's like, "I don't care what you do to the 2 girls. Shiro is mine. You can rape, or kill them."
Yeah, that's just a line that they decided to add in immediately
Yeah.
after the H scene. It was great.
Such
Yes.
a great scene.
And then the interlude ends. And then we learn the only way that they're going to be able to defeat Heracles is if they land a surprise attack.
Yeah, and they discussed their strategy.
Freen has to be the one that lands it because she can hide her squeaking.
Yes, she has 10 of these jewels where she can use magic, where she has magic stored
Yeah,
up.
she's going to use the reserve jewel. And then we have the choice of worried about Saber and worried about
What did we do?
Which
I chose
what did you
Tosaka.
choose?
Rin.
I also chose Rin.
That's weird.
I did not want
And-
Saber talking about the sex scene, so I just went to Rin.
And she was just like, yeah, these jewels are very expensive.
Oh yeah.
And then,
then you owe a life debt to her.
yeah, he simps.
Very expensive.
You
My
broke
jewel?
my gems?
You broke my limbs.
You broke? What?
So-
What'd you say?
You broke my lamps.
So after conversating with Rin,
My antique lamps?
I'm so tired.
Let's finish this then. After compensating Rin, you go outside, and then they find a spot to prepare for the surprise attack.
Yeah, Ilya's coming. Ringo's died. Ilya arrives. The forest is a boundary field.
Yes. So Ilya immediately is like, yeah, Tosaka hasn't left yet.
Yeah, she
But
can sense
she-
when people enter.
But she believes that Tosaka is not there.
Yes.
And then Ilya uses a command spell on Heracles.
Which she seemingly has a lot more than 3 of.
Okay, so I think there's 2 possibilities. Either those are just massive markings and there are only 3 of them, or there's 3 for each of his lives.
I think that's more likely.
Also, so they're all over her body, and there's like 2 big. I don't know if you noticed, but there's 2 big circle ones.
Yeah.
We can move on from that.
Okay.
So,
And then we learned he.
what?
Yeah?
She uses a command spell to put him into berserker mode,
Oh, yeah.
which he had never been in this entire game.
Yeah. Which is weird.
That was just
Berserker
his
never
raw
went berserk.
strength.
He was just, yeah.
That was him thinking.
Yeah.
So then we get the second best fight in the entire game so far, which is Saber vs. Heracles.
It's very cool.
It's not as cool as the other.
Yeah. With the assassin one, right?
No, the Fuji.
Okay. I don't know exactly how to explain the fight, but the important shit does happen during the fight.
We got I wrote best battle music so far.
Easily.
Dude, I heard the
Saber's
battle
being
music and I
hurt.
started bopping my head.
Saber is being hurt bit by bit, and then you have a choice.
Oh, yeah, there is a choice.
And the choice is provide backup or what's the point?
I assume we all chose provide backup?
I did back up.
Okay, I think I did too.
We should mention that
Yeah,
we made
the
a
backup
bow.
that is the backup.
We did some weird magic earlier where we pretended like we were strengthening a stick, but we just ended up making a bow.
This isn't anything new. This isn't anything new.
But he can't do
This
transformation
literally
magic.
happened on day 3.
What did he do? Oh right, yeah. He turned. Oh yeah, no, you're right. He turned the poster into a sword.
Yeah, he turns the poster into a sword, and it's like a metallic poster, and it turns into a sword.
Yeah, you're right. But he does make a bow, and he turns some other sticks into arrows. So he what else happens? Eventually, after they fight for a bit, and Saber's armor gets knocked off. She goes in for like an attack, and hits him and blows him back, and that's when Tosaka comes in with her amazing surprise attack, and that's when it's finally revealed
Yes.
that Heracles is
Wait.
what?
She uses her ice magic, and
She gets grabbed.
and he slashes the ice magic, but it still hits his arm and freezes his arm.
Yeah,
Cannot,
and
can't move.
Yeah, then she gets grabbed, and she gets 4 like exploding crystals and slams them against his arm and blows his fucking head off.
Yeah, and it sends blood and
Spinal fluid. Yeah.
At this time,
But he's not dead. He needs to be killed a total of 12 times.
Yes,
What a
and that's when we
motherfucking
reveal his noble phantasm is that he has 12 lives.
Yes.
And then they explain like Heracles' 12 trials and stuff.
Yeah. Archer did 6 of the deaths, and Green did 1, so I need to do 5 more.
And while we're talking about Archer killing him 6 times, so at the very end of the fight, we'll get to the very end of the fight very soon. So I'll wait on that. Continue.
Okay. Okay. Heracles is going to crush Rin, and she's being crushed. And Saber's trying to get Heracles to let go.
And he can't crush her fully because his arm's frozen.
Yeah. And Saber. No. Heracles Where am I looking at it? Oh god. Heracles hits Shiro, launching him far away.
Yes.
And then Heracles goes over to him. He's about to finish him off. Because he sees him as I guess, more of a threat than...
Yeah,
than
because he
Ryu,
kept
who's in
strengthening
his
the
arm.
bow and shit, and like trying to smack him over the back with it.
So he's about to finish off Shiro, and so Saber's about to use her Noble Phantasm. And your choice is that the only option, and don't use it?
I chose don't use it.
I originally
Wait.
chose use it, and that got me a bad end.
Okay. I would
see.
assume so, because you need to use the command spell to make her not
Yes.
use
Yes.
You want me to explain what happens
it.
real quick?
Which is, I guess, yeah.
Basically, Saber uses it. It doesn't work. She disappears, and then you just die.
That's about what I expected.
Yeah, nothing special. In the Tiger Dojo, though,
Okay.
this one Ilya mentions that she's the cause of 5 separate game overs in this route. And that was the final one.
All right then.
Interesting.
So you use your command spell.
So yes, use your second command spell.
Yes.
Shiro only has one left now.
And he can't use it, or Saber will like not be his anymore.
Yeah. So Shiro uses a command spell to stop Saber, and then he imagines and is able to make Saber's Caliburn.
Caliburn, yeah.
When you
And it slashes.
go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh, okay. It slashes right through Heracles' arm, and the sword shatters. So Shiro has to remake it, and he has to when he's remaking it, he has to make sure that he has all of the years put into that sword have to be there when he's making it.
Yeah, he has to like 100% accuracy. Like, even he has to even consider the person who originally made the sword while making the replica of the
How
sword.
nice of him.
So Heracles is about to kill Shiro, but Saber grabs the remade sword and deflects the attack.
And they slice through Berserker.
They slice him like from like
Yeah, they swing the sword together, and it shatters his axe and goes through his body. And the sword
yeah,
is-
it goes like from like top of his shoulder to his
And
pelvis.
then
They say. Or
Heracles-
something
I
like that.
just want to say.
Oh yeah, and then he just finally
Words.
talks.
He's
which is
like
weird.
so calm and reserved when
I
talking.
was so put off by
Yeah.
the fact that he just suddenly starts talking.
I found it so weird. I found it so weird that he was like a normal talking person.
Yeah. When I think back on it, I feel like he spoke in English, but I don't think he did. I think I'm just misremembering that. But like there was
What, his
something
final
weird
words?
about him. Yeah, his final words.
His final words were in English.
Okay. But he has a very calm voice.
Okay.
And he's just like I don't know what he says, but he's just like,
Well,
oh
he's
yeah.
speaking Japanese, but it was
Yes. And he says
Um,
something like, oh, this is what I wanted to mention. He says, that sword killed me 7-fold. So, it killed him 7 times. But we only needed to kill him 4 times. But if you think back... 5 times, you're right, yeah. Well, the sword, that would have killed him...
Yeah, go ahead, go
5th
ahead.
time, and then you would have had to kill him 4 more times, but whatever. You only need to kill him 5 times. So, if you think on it, if Archer didn't kill him 6 times, that wouldn't have been the end of the battle.
Oh yeah, no.
So, Archer is really just the true MVP of this. Because he already defeated Heracles half of the time that it took 3 other people to do.
Yeah. So basically, we're at the end. Heracles goes away, and then Ilya's just defeated.
Yeah, she's like, oh, are you dead, Heracles? She's like kind of sad, and then she just runs away.
Not much happens, but we basically just cut to the next day, not too soon after the fight finishes.
Yeah, and that's where we ended.
Fucking Christ.
Holy shit.
Any theories and stuff we should get out of the way now?
We talked about a lot of theories already. That was
Anything
2 hours and 45
anything you haven't
minutes.
mentioned?
I have one, but give me a sec. There's a dog in the
Alright.
back.
There is a dog.
Pet it.
Okay, theory.
What is it?
Listening.
This is gonna be a big one. I'm thinking Lancer's Master.
Yeah?
I'm thinking that. Well, first. Well, okay, I'll see my first. I'll see my thing.
It's weird we haven't
but
seen Lancer since day
Lancer's
3.
Master. So yeah, Lancer's almost definitely gonna be like the final dude.
Yeah.
We don't know his master yet, and I'm thinking about it, and I was thinking. The things that we know about him, where it was like, okay, his master's a coward, he isn't like his master. His master stays far away. And I was like, yeah, that fits Shinji. And then we find out it's not Shinji. There's one other person that fits,
Sakura?
and that is Kirei.
Kirei. Really?
Because the last Holy Grail War, he just sat and did nothing.
Oh.
And this time, I think he's doing the same thing again, but he's just having a servant go out and do the killing for him so that it counts.
That would be interesting.
And the biggest thing that I thought of
Yeah?
is if that is the case,
That would make sense as
He's
to why we
been saying-
don't like Kirei.
he's been saying, yeah, if your servant goes away, come to me, I'll protect you. He's gonna fucking kill you.
Ooh.
Yeah, I don't trust him.
Yeah. Though I mean, we already knew not to trust Kirei, but like that's actually a really good theory. I also have a theory as to someone whose master is whose servant. And that's just because I like
also,
Issei and
one
want him
sec,
to be
wait.
more important, so I think he's Assassin's master because Assassin's super cool, and Issei is the kind of like stoic type that Assassin would kind of fit with. That's it. Also,
Okay,
the fact that we
maybe.
first see Assassin at Ryudo Temple, but like, yeah, that's those are my two things.
Also, another thing. So with me saying, I think the writer is Headless Horseman. We don't know her true name yet. The fact that we don't know her true name yet is a major red flag.
That is,
for me.
yeah, it has not sat well with me either.
So I'm thinking, I think we're gonna see her again.
I mean, we already know that was already thrown out there that dude. What if
think
Ilya gets Ryder?
We have 2 people with command spells.
Ilya.
We have 2 people with command
not
spells
Ilya?
and no servants. And we have someone who's dead and their servant might be alive.
Ilya has a command spell. Ilya has a
These are your
command
thoughts.
spell.
These are not my
What?
thoughts.
What are your thoughts?
I think Sakura is getting Ryder.
Why do you keep thinking Sakura? Sakura doesn't have the mark.
She doesn't have a
though.
command spell.
As far as we
She
know,
doesn't have a command spell.
yeah, you have to have a command spell in order to take
Unless
a
she
servant
takes
that's
her
just kind of
brothers.
out there.
We know nothing about Sakura.
She could take her brothers. That would make sense. But like, well, not
I
her brother's
think-
command spell.
I think 100%, without a doubt in my mind, Sakura is going to be a master.
It'd be interesting if you're right, but I'm not. I'm just not inclined to believe it. Yeah,
I just don't see it.
I'm unsure if we'll follow different characters in each route, but we'll different things will
Yeah.
definitely happen. And from what I know, all the different things that happen spawn from something different that happens on day 3 each time. So I'm very, very interested in that. Okay, I do think Ryder's coming back. I think we'll find out.
I had a feeling about Ryder coming back as well.
But Blade, I have a question for you because you talked about this off of this
What?
discussion. You said you thought that Caster's master was extremely obvious.
Really?
I thought about it some more.
Okay.
I think
Did you just immediately think it was Issei because of the temple thing, and then like realize that?
I more so thought Caster's master was the person who killed you in that dead end, like the woman. And to
Oh,
support
yeah.
that, it was just the witch on the hill said by Ryder. And then that the fact that there's a woman staying at Ryodo Temple now. That Issei mentioned.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely her. Like the woman staying at the Ryodo Temple is absolutely Caster's master. I just don't think we've met her yet.
Yeah, and I think the way that Assassin was like, it's like he was a protector of Ryoto Temple. Like there's a barrier field around it, and that he was protecting it. So I think, like you said, Issei might be his master. Those were my thoughts.
Yeah, I'm very set on Issei. I'd be very happy if Issei was.
I'd be
Assassin's
surprised if it
master.
wasn't him, or at least one of his family members.
Yeah, it could be his dad, I guess.
Blade made it seem like it was going to be a cooler thing to move.
Well, no, I thought it was obvious that it was that
Because
person.
I was talking about it and you were like, really? I think Ashes Master is obvious. And I was like,
I had to think about it some.
Are you talking about the girl from the... I was saying, are you talking about the girl from the dead end? And you were like, no.
I think I meant to say Assassin.
Okay.
And yeah, those are the only two we don't know the masters of, right? Oh no, Lancer.
Yeah, it's Lancer Caster.
Man, I don't know about Lancer.
If I had to put my things out there, I'm gonna go with Ryan's Kirei theory for Lancer.
I really like
because
this theory.
I like that theory, and I just don't like I don't see them just introducing a new they're hiding Lancer's master on purpose, and it would make sense for the final battle if it's with Lancer to be against Kirei.
If you want to get your minds thinking.
And then I think Issei is Assassin. He's the other magist at that school, and Reen's just wrong about him not being a master. And then
more possibilities.
Yeah.
You can think about the fact that they randomly brought up Mitsuzuri-san.
I also
they
thought
did
about
randomly
her.
bring up. She's a very. I don't know where to place her in the story.
After she hasn't showed up since like day one.
She
hasn't shown up. She's shown up once in each route so far. She showed up to talk to Tosaka and is like, oh yeah, we're rivals and that, and then we talked to her very briefly as Shiro day 2.
She rubs me off
And we just
as someone
haven't-
who will have more significance in a different route.
Probably Mitsu's like we are forgetting that we're only one route in, so I don't have much theories about the other 2 routes, but it's very odd that Mitsuzuri isn't as important as she was slated to be when she was introduced first, one of the first people introduced.
Anything else?
But
The other routes, I'm thinking will only take us at most 3 Saber Chats, but I'm kind of hoping for 2.
yeah, I mean this was very long, so final thoughts. I'm
Final
just gonna
thoughts?
say I like your theory about Kirei being Lancer's master. Caster's master is the girl on the hill. Could be someone new. Could be Mitsuzuri. I doubt it though, because Issei doesn't really know who she is. And then finally, so we learned that sacrifices are a way to get mana. And sacrifices would be done at a temple, where Issei lives. So he already has some intrinsic magic connection to him. So I think it's very easy for him to be Assassin's master.
Not rubbing me off the wrong way about Lancer's master then. Because why would Kyrie have Lancer killing people if Kyrie is a Magnus himself?
Just to get them stronger, I guess. I don't know. Is
Just
he
to
a
rack up
Magus?
those
He is.
kill points. He needs to rack up kill points so the Grail will accept him.
I guess.
Well, I mean, do we know for a fact that Lancer's killing innocents?
Yes. Well,
we saw that family that was murdered, but we really don't know who
It
did
was, yeah, Shiro thinks it was him, but
it has to be Lancer.
they're like, yeah, but it doesn't have to.
that. I mean, it could have been could have been Ryder. Yeah. I don't know.
Maybe with her massive name.
Have you guys checked
Yeah,
how
2
how
names.
much time you have in this game?
No, I don't even know
I
there
have
was
not,
a
but
way.
It's
if I had
in
to
the
guess-
extras menu if you want to check right now.
If I had to guess,
I have
40
almost
hours.
23 hours.
Doubt that. All right, you want to do some
Dude,
sort?
I had 20 hours after the first Saber Chat, right at the end of this first
What?
Saber Chat.
Really?
Really? Want to do some sort of an outro? I don't know what to do for an outro, but you could do something.
Sure, yeah, you can keep reading off the sources cited.
But that wasn't in the intro. Because we forgot, we lost that.
Well, I guess get started from the top then.
Yeah, just fade out on me reading the fucking monkey ball wiki. Yeah, just fade out,
Go.
on me reading the monkey ball wiki. Let me
Go before you cut out again. I gotta cut this out.
So Blade,
Yo.
Super
Oh,
Monkey
definitely
Ball
on
is
you.
a series of arcade platform video games initially developed by Amusement Vision and published by Sega. The game debuted in Japan in 2001 as an upright arcade cabinet called Monkey Ball, which featured a banana-shaped joystick. Later that year, it was released as a GameCube game. Several sequels and ports have been released, such as Monkey Ball for the arcade, Super Monkey Ball, GameCube, Super Monkey Ball 2, GameCube, Super Monkey Ball Jr., Game Boy Advance, Super Monkey Ball, N-Gage, Super Monkey Ball Deluxe, PlayStation 2 and Xbox, Super Monkey Ball Touch and Roll, Nintendo DS, Super Monkey Ball Adventure, PlayStation 2, GameCube, and PSP, Super Monkey Ball Banana Blitz.
Whoa, Peter.
What?
We have to go read Fate for a week.
Oh shit, you're
I'm
right.
going to bed.
Oh shit.
Alright, well, okay.